This chat group administrator really takes things seriously. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 26. I predicted your prediction. Jiang Nan stopped. Jing. Is there anything else? Shizuka Hiratsuka thought for a moment and said, I'll take you two to a place. Thinking of that place, Shizuka Hiratsuka smiled unconsciously. Since she couldn't solve the awkward personalities of these two people, she would ask others to help. This is an activity room for a club. Open the door. Shizuka Hiratsuka walked in with the two problem children. The breeze blew through the white curtains, and cherry blossoms fell. A beautiful girl with long hair sat by the window reading a book. This scene should be a poem. The girl's long black hair swayed in the wind, and the book in her hand kept turning. As if she heard a noise, she turned her head and looked at the three people who came here. Teacher Hiratsuka, I should have asked you to knock on the door before coming in. Shizuka Hiratsuka waved her hand indifferently. Even if I knocked on the door, you never responded at all. The girl said calmly. That's because I was about to respond when you opened the door. So, what are you bringing these two people here for? Jiang Nan tilted his head and looked at the beautiful girl in front of him and said very familiarly, Old date, look, there's a beauty, a black and straight beautiful girl, a rare attribute. Hikigaya Hachiman also had to admit that the girl in front of him was very beautiful. Jiang Nan was a celebrity in the whole school, and basically everyone knew her. What do you want from this famous problem child in the grade and this stupid classmate? As soon as the girl spoke, Hikigaya Hachiman felt a sharp feeling. It was like a hedgehog covered with thorns. It made people feel pricked when they approached. Jiang Nan seemed to have noticed nothing and said carelessly, Student Yukinoshita Yukino, I have heard of you. You are very good at studying, outstanding among the girls of the same grade, and also a celebrity in the school. Let me introduce myself. My name is Jiang Nan. Come and be my friend. Yukinoshita Yukino closed the book in her hand. Can I refuse? Jiang Nan couldn't help but take a step back and pretended to be shot in the heart. I was rejected. I was rejected by a beautiful girl. My heart hurts so much. People who don't understand think that Jiang Nan was rejected for his confession. Hikigaya Hachiman remembered that Jiang Nan had said to him directly, come and be my friend. Hikigaya Hachiman was a little stunned for a moment, but didn't refuse, and then they became friends. Jiang Nan seemed to be possessed by a drama spirit, and regained his vitality again. I won't give up, Yukinoshita classmate. I will definitely become your friend. Then Jiang Nan looked at Hikigaya Hachiman. Old Hachiman, today I will show you how sunny and cheerful boy makes friends. Learn from him. Hiratsuka Shizuka covered her forehead. Stop making trouble. Let's talk about business first. These two want to apply to join the club. Yukinoshita Yukino was slightly stunned. Hikigaya Hachiman rubbed his head and began to introduce himself. My name is Hikigaya Hachiman, 2nd grade, class F. What's the situation with joining the club? Shizuka Hiratsuka turned her head slightly. This is a punishment for both of you. Just join this club. Jiang Nan suddenly laughed. Jing, you didn't expect it. I predicted your prediction. You have forgiven me before, so your punishment has no effect on me. It only works on Hachiman alone. Shizuka Hiratsuka turned around and moved her legs, and a standard lunge was formed. Then she punched out, and the strong wind brushed Jiang Nan's face and slid away. Jiang Nan swallowed his saliva. I'm going to join the club today. I'm going to join here today, and I'll be angry with anyone who stops me. Jiang Nan's expression was like a warrior who was ready to die. Shizuka Hiratsuka put away his fist and a smile appeared on his face. Isn't that good? Then Shizuka Hiratsuka turned around and spoke to Yukinoshita Yukino. Anyway, as you can see, these two people are notorious problem children in my class, so I hope you can improve their personalities, at least make them a little more normal. Jiang Nan raised his hand and retorted loudly, I'm a normal teacher. Shut up. Shizuka Hiratsuka felt that she was angry too often recently. Women tend to get old if they get angry too much. Anyway, this is my commission. Shizuka Hiratsuka said to Yukinoshita Yukino. I refuse. Yukinoshita Yukino refused decisively. Then she said with great disgust, being stared at by these two men with ill intentions, I feel that my body and mind are threatened. Hikigaya Hachiman did not expect that the cold and aloof iceberg girl in front of him would say such a stinging word. Jiangnan retorted without hesitation. I like plump ones. I'm not interested in flat ones. I guarantee with my personality that I will never look at your writer. It was too flat. Jiangnan was a little suspicious whether it was really a Yukinoshita Yukino felt an aimless anger suddenly appear. Shizuka Hiratsuka looked at the angry Yukinoshita Yukino and smiled unconsciously. As expected, anger will not disappear. It will only transfer. Okay, don't worry. Although both of them have extremely awkward personalities, they will never commit crimes. At least they know how to assess risks and protect themselves. You can trust them. Shizuka Hiratsuka made a smooth situation. Jiangnan patted his chest and then hugged Hikigaya Hachiman. Don't worry, Hachiman and I are both good students. We will never commit such crimes. Shizuka Hiratsuka nodded. You have to believe that their personalities are actually quite cowardly. Yukinoshita Yukino sighed helplessly. Okay, since it is the teacher's commission, I can't just do it. I accept it. Shizuka Hiratsuka was happy in her heart. She could finally push the two problem children in her class to others. Then I'll leave it to you, Yukinoshita Yukino. Just like that, the two joined the service club. Teacher Shizuka Hiratsuka left. There were only two men and one woman left in the room. Jiangnan suddenly hugged Hikigaya Hachiman tightly. Old date, the teacher is gone. Should we do something bad? After hearing this, Yukinoshita Yukino trembled involuntarily. Hikigaya Hachiman glanced at Yukinoshita Yukino. Not so good. Jiangnan said mysteriously. What's wrong with it? Anyway, the teacher doesn't know. I believe Yukinoshita is not the kind of person who likes to complain. Hikigaya Hachiman hesitated and spoke. Okay. Yukinoshita Yukino had a bad premonition. He felt that he still underestimated the two men in front of him. Maybe he was too venomous just now. Now that the teacher has left, they may be retaliated. This kind of thing has happened before. At this time, Jiangnan had already walked over and put his other hand into his school bag, as if he was going to take something. Dear, today the female dog that I have raised for 3 years in my family eloped with a stray dog. I feel sad and want to cry. Now only your monthly ticket can bring me comfort, and recommendation tickets are also fine. Chapter 27, I'm bribing you. Yukinoshita Yukino's heart was in turmoil. She could already imagine that Jiangnan would hit her on the head with a book. She had heard some rumors about Jiangnan, saying that Jiangnan was a relative of the principal, often skipped classes, played games in class, and ate snacks without any problems. Presumably, even if he bullied his classmates, it would be fine. Yukinoshita Yukino subconsciously closed her eyes. Jiangnan also took out what he wanted from his school bag. It was a cake with very delicate packaging. The imagined pain did not come. Yukinoshita Yukino opened her eyes and saw the cake in her arms. What are you doing? Jiangnan smiled and said. Of course I bribed you. Then Jiangnan took out his game console. I'm playing games in the activity room. You shouldn't mind. If Jingjing knew, she would be angry again. Yukinoshita Yukino glanced at the handheld game console in Jiangnan's hand. He took another look at the exquisite cake in his arms. Jiangnan spoke. I bought this at the dessert shop on the corner. I lined up for a long time. I believe no woman can refuse the delicious desserts in this dessert shop. I was going to take it home to taste it myself. Anyway, now I'm trying to bribe you. If you don't refuse, it means you agree. Before Yukinoshita Yukino could react, Jiangnan turned to Hikigaya Hachiman. Old Hachiman, the director has been bribed by me. Hurry up and play online together. Yukinoshita Yukino glanced at the two boys who were about to play games. They showed happy expressions. Then she looked at the exquisite cake in her arms. It was not opened yet. It was very well preserved. This seems to be pretty good. Yukinoshita Yukino is also a person who has not made friends since the beginning of school. Now there are 2 more people in her club, and it feels a lot more lively. It's a new day again. Jiangnan came to school on time as usual. My deskmate Kato Megumi had arrived long ago. Thank you for the last time, Kato-san. Kato Megumi nodded expressionlessly. A new day is about to begin. The day's classes ended quickly. It was really boring. It's time to go to the club. Jiangnan yawned. Kato Megumi looked at Jiangnan with some surprise. In her understanding, Jiangnan has always been the kind of person who goes home to play after school. Jiangnan, have you joined the club? Kato Megumi said as she packed her things. Jiangnan nodded. After all, I always give Jingjing a headache, and Jingjing must have to find a way to cure me, so she let me join a club called the Service Club. Are you interested? Come and play together. Kato Megumi thought for a while and said lightly, the name sounds interesting. Jiangnan sighed. There's nothing I can do. I've been targeted, but our club activities are to help others solve problems, for free. Does Kato have any problems that need to be solved? Kato Megumi shook her head. As a passerby heroine, everything about her is ordinary. There are no problems that make her too embarrassed. That's a shame. Would you like to visit our club? Our club leader is a beautiful lady. Kato Megumi seemed to be thinking about this question seriously. Although the school does not require students to join a club in order to enrich their spare time, the school still encourages students to join clubs and participate in club activities. Kato Megumi nodded. Okay. So the two of them went to the service club. At this time, the atmosphere in the service club was a little awkward. Hikigaya Hachiman was originally a gloomy otaku and a social phobia patient who was not good at speaking. And he was not the kind of person who liked to speak actively. The same was true for Yukinoshita Yukino. So the atmosphere in this small activity room became very awkward. Hikigaya Hachiman prayed very much at this time, and the social cow patient who could break all the awkward atmosphere came. Yukinoshita Yukino continued to sit in front of the window and read a book, seemingly unable to feel the awkward atmosphere in the activity room. Hello. Yukinoshita Yukino spoke first. Hikigaya Hachiman was slightly stunned, but still said in return. Hello. I thought he would come here first. Yukinoshita Yukino said lightly. Hikigaya Hachiman thought of Jiangnan, and then looked at his gloomy appearance. Sorry, I disappoint you. Not really. In fact, I feel in my heart that you will not honestly come to participate in the club activities. He started to be sarcastic again. Hikigaya Hachiman felt that he really couldn't get along with this girl. You are always like this. By the way, do you have any friends? Yukinoshita Yukino seemed to be poked in the sore spot. Is that so? Then we need to define what exactly counts as a friend. Yukinoshita Yukino seemed to recall bad memories. For example, something was put in the shoes or hidden. His flute was taken away. Hikigaya Hachiman understood after hearing this. Yukinoshita Yukino definitely didn't have a friend. He understood this feeling, because he had been like this before. Then he thought of Jiangnan again. At least he is better than Yukinoshita Yukino now, and he at least has a friend. You obviously look like you should be very popular. Why don't you have any friends? Yukinoshita Yukino closed the book in her hand, prepared to continue the sarcastic counterattack. At this moment, the door of the club activity room suddenly opened. Jiangnan stood at the door with a girl. I'm here. The two interrupted the topic and looked at the door. Seeing Jiangnan coming with a cute girl, both of them had different reactions. Yukinoshita Yukino spoke up. Jiangnan, please don't bring strangers to the club casually. The club is not a place for you to show your affection. Hikigaya Hachiman thought Jiangnan was a damned predator. Jiangnan didn't care about Yukinoshita Yukino's venomous tongue and spoke up. This is my deskmate and good friend, Kato Megumi. Although Kato Megumi has a low sense of presence, she is really a good person. She has never joined the club. Today she is here to visit our club. You can't let go of such a good talent, director. Kato Megumi bowed lightly and greeted. Hello. What a gentle girl. Yukinoshita Yukino was slightly stunned. This girl was not angry because of her venomous tongue. Instead, she seemed a little too stingy. The mind of a saint is not something that ordinary people can imagine. Yukinoshita Yukino's venomous tongue is just that. It didn't even make Kato Hui have the slightest emotion. Jiangnan continued to introduce. This is the one I told you before. The head of the service department, Yukinoshita Yukino, is a great beauty and a good person, and her sharp tongue is just her protective color. The gloomy looking otaku next to him is actually a good person and knows a lot of heresies. His name is Hikigaya Hachiman. My friend. Today is the third update to celebrate the arrival of my bestest brother-in-law's neighbor's distant aunt. Don't forget your monthly ticket. Pen refill. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 28. Consider it who. Kato Megumi came to the service club. Yukinoshita Yukino's sharp tongue had no effect on her. Hikigaya Hachiman felt that it was better for him to remain silent. Hello everyone. I'm Kato Megumi from Class F, Grade 2. Kato Megumi smiled faintly. Yukinoshita Yukino closed the book in her hand. Since there are classmates visiting, as the head of the club, she naturally has to move. As you can see, Kato classmate, this is the activity room of the service club. Yukinoshita Yukino stood up and walked over. Kato Megumi nodded. Jiangnan had already come to Hikigaya Hachiman at this time. Hey, Hachiman, don't always look so lifeless. Come on, log in and play games. Yukinoshita Yukino took Kato Megumi to visit this relatively simple club activity room and explained some of the content of the service club's activities. It's basically about solving other people's problems. Kato Megumi thought it was quite interesting. If there is nothing to do, everyone can move around in the activity room as long as they don't affect others. Yukinoshita Yukino glanced at the two male classmates who were sitting on the chairs, eating snacks and playing games. Anyway, Kato, the service club doesn't have too many strict requirements, and you don't even have to participate in club activities. There are actually quite a lot of such relatively free clubs in the school. It's just that, because there are too few people, it's easy to disband. You have to know that most students of this age are full of energy. The clubs they join are mainstream clubs. For example, basketball clubs, football clubs, and baseball clubs. These clubs are very popular clubs in high school. Is that so? Kato Megumi seemed to be thinking seriously. Yukinoshita Yukino thought for a while and said, then what's wrong with Kato? Kato Megumi thought for a while. I don't seem to have any worries, but I want to join a suitable club recently. Does this count? Yukinoshita Yukino nodded, and then began to recommend some interesting clubs. Kato Megumi was thinking seriously. Maybe it's because of her personality. Kato Megumi doesn't want to join clubs where she doesn't have acquaintances. Finally, Yukinoshita Yukino suggested that they first join their own service club. If they find a suitable club, they can quit at any time. At the same time, they can also learn more about the activities of the club. Kato Megumi nodded in agreement. As time passed, everyone also discovered Kato Megumi's gentle and easygoing personality. It seemed that she would never get angry and was very gentle to everyone. Occasionally, she would be invisible. Even Hikigaya Hachiman sometimes couldn't find Kato Megumi. Usually, the first person to find Kato Megumi was always Jiangnan, a severe patient of the bull syndrome. On this day, the service club, which had been quiet for a long time, finally welcomed a client. The activities on this day were as quiet as usual. Jiangnan looked at the bookshelf he had carefully built. It was filled with various comic books and light novels. Kato, look, this is my precious collection, haha. Kato Megumi looked at various comic books. Jiangnan, if these things are placed in the activity room, Yukinoshita will be angry. Jiangnan raised a confident smile at the corner of his mouth. Don't worry, the mountain man has his own tricks. Then, Jiangnan took out a lot of snacks from his school bag. Money makes the world go round. I believe Yukinoshita will be bribed by me. If one pile of snacks doesn't work, then two piles of snacks. I don't believe that any girl can resist the temptation of delicious food. Kato Megumi tilted her head. But I still feel that Yukinoshita should be angry. She should use words to teach you a lesson. Jiangnan showed a confident expression. Don't worry, I'm very thick-skinned. Kato Megumi continued in a light tone. It doesn't seem to be something worth showing off. At this moment, the door of the activity room opened. Yukinoshita Yukino walked in carrying her school bag. As soon as she came in, she saw the bookshelf opposite. Then a cold look came over Jiang Nan. This is not your home. Don't bring the things in your favorites here casually. Be careful, I will sue you for sexual harassment. Pervert. This familiar smell. This familiar formula. Jiang Nan felt so painful. Then Yukinoshita Yukino looked at Kato Megumi. Kato, don't mess with him all the time. I really doubt whether he has used some special means to force you to become his friend. If he really used criminal means, please tell me. As his department head, I will personally send him to the juvenile detention center. Jiang Nan felt that his body was shot again. It hurts. Yukinoshita's words are still so sharp, but the friendship between Kato and me is not allowed to be questioned. Kato Megumi stood aside and watched this farce indifferently, as if it happened every day. Yukinoshita Yukino chuckled, as if mocking. For a problem child like you, it feels like you have used up all your luck in this life. To have a gentle person like Kato as your friend. Jiang Nan tried to make himself stand up straight. Don't underestimate me. I have many friends, and you are also my friend. Yukinoshita Yukino thought for a while. What is the definition of friends? When did we become friends? Jiang Nan began to show off his poor acting skills again. Jiang Nan took 2 steps back, then covered his heart with one hand, his eyes full of sadness. We became friends a long time ago. Why did you forget? Have you been brainwashed by the bald devil? Yukinoshita felt a headache. No matter how venomous and sharp her words were, she could not stop Jiang Nan's aura of social bull that was always emitting at that time. Looking at the bookshelf not far from the activity room, Yukinoshita Yukino still spoke. Although the service club is more free, this is not a library. Jiang Nan seemed to have expected it. He took out pudding dessert from the snack pile. Haha. I predicted your prediction a long time ago, so today I brought desserts that even the superpower Seiki Kuso could not refuse. Come. Be bribed by me. Minister Jiang Nan posed in a handsome JoJo stand. Yukinoshita felt that if she refused, the other party would continue to make moves until she agreed. In fact, the original location of the bookshelf was piled with a lot of sundries. Jiang Nan and Kato Megumi picked up these sundries together, then made a bookshelf with other unused things. Jiang Nan put his collection of books on it. It actually looks pretty good. Yukinoshita Yukino sighed. It's not the first time anyway, so do as you please. Jiang Nan jumped up excitedly. Today is another victory for me, Jiang Nan. Jiang Nan came to his bookshelf. Kato, is there anything you like? These are all my carefully selected collections. Very nice. Hey guys. Today's update is explosive, and tomorrow's update will be explosive. The grandson behind me is only 3 votes short of analyzing me. Please vote for me to protect my ass. Chapter 29. Commission. Kato Megumi's face was expressionless. Jiang Nan, do you have any recommendations? Jiang Nan took out a book from the bookshelf. Daily comedy light novels. The Baka Test, Summoning Beasts. He took out another book. Hot-Blooded Games, the legendary masterpiece Sword Art Online. Dragon Ball, Naruto. Not long after, Hikigaya Hachiman also came to the club activity room. Jiang Nan turned his head and saw that it was Hikigaya Hachiman who came, and he showed his collection excitedly. Come on, old Hachiman, I'll show off my favorite and most precious collection. Hikigaya Hachiman put down his school bag and walked over. Looking at the light novels and comics on the bookshelf, he said with some surprise. It's so rich. Is it really okay to put it here? Jiang Nan smiled slightly. Don't worry, I have prepared 3 copies of all the comics and novels here. I will use one for myself, one for collection, and the other for preaching and sharing. I'm not such a stingy person. Hikigaya Hachiman, I can't believe that someone like you is actually an otaku. Jiang Nan didn't think there was anything wrong with otakus. What's wrong with otakus? They don't commit crimes, rob, or hurt others. Besides, who says that people with social bullshit can't be otakus? Yukinoshita Yukino opened the book she habitually read. Hikigaya Hachiman also knew Jiang Nan's carefree personality, so he carefully selected a book from the bookshelf. In this way, the activity room fell into silence again, until the door was knocked again. Such a polite person. First of all, excluding the club instructor Hiratsuka Shizuka, Yukinoshita Yukino said softly, come in. The door of the activity room slowly opened. A girl dressed in a somewhat hot girl's clothes walked in. The light peach hair was shoulder length and had traces of being permed. It would sway slightly when she walked, and this color looked very bright. It was tied into a bun with a black headband on the bun. There were always 2 or 3 buttons on the clothes that were not buttoned. Jiangnan narrowed his eyes, and another heroine appeared. Yugahama Yui. Hey. Hello. Hello. To Anzi-san. Jiangnan stood up first and waved. As a member of the live-action group, Yugahama Yui was still known to Jiangnan, but they only greeted each other a few times. Jiangnan, Zaoki, you are here too. Seeing an acquaintance, Yugahama Yui couldn't help but smile. Kato Megumi's presence was still so low. It was not until she had seen everyone that Yugahama Yui discovered Kato Megumi. Kato is here too. Kato Megumi put down the book in her hand, waved her hand and said hello. Hello, Yugahama-san. Yugahama Yui took a deep breath and began to talk about business. That was Mr. Hiratsuka who asked me to come here, saying that I can solve some troubles here. Yukinoshita Yukino stood up from her chair when she heard that it was Shizuka Hiratsuka who introduced her. She packed up her things and prepared to accept the commission. You are Yugahama Yui from class F of the 2nd grade, right? Anyway, please sit down first. Yukinoshita Yukino's attitude towards girls is a little better, but only a little better. Jiangnan moved her chair and sat over. Does Tuanzi have any troubles? Yugahama Yui smiled embarrassedly. I hope to make delicious handmade cookies. Hikigaya Hachiman is at least a member of the club, and he is also listening carefully. But there are still many doubts in his heart, such as why Yugahama Yui calls him Zaoki. They don't seem to be very familiar with each other. Kato Megumi stood aside and watched indifferently. Is this the content of the activity? Helping others solve some troubles seems to be quite good. Cooking activity room. Everyone changed into aprons. Yukinoshita Yukino plans to teach Yugahama Yui how to make delicious cookies. Kato Megumi looked on curiously. Jiangnan said that he was very happy to eat handmade cookies made by girls, even if they were dark dishes. So a teaching session began. Hikigaya Hachiman looked at the raw materials on the table and said in confusion, shouldn't this kind of thing be asked to friends? Yugahama Yui said a little embarrassedly, well, I don't really want them to know. Jiangnan patted Hikigaya Hachiman's shoulder with a happy face. You don't understand this. Old Bay, friends also need little surprises when they get along with each other. This is a handmade cookie. It's not about how delicious it tastes, but it contains the thoughts of friends. It is used to maintain friendships. I can see that you have never received gifts from others. Hikigaya Hachiman felt so heartbroken. He seemed to be ridiculed. Kato Megumi pondered for a moment, then nodded. Give friends handmade cookies made by yourself. Even if they are not delicious, it is a thought. It can make the friendship between friends even deeper. Thinking about it, Kato Megumi couldn't help but think of herself. If I make handmade cookies for my friends, can I make my friends better? Then I imagined Jiangnan. There is a high probability that Jiangnan will directly praise it, and then after eating, he will even say in a very second-year way, I accept your kindness. Anyway, I'll leave it to you. Yugahama Yui put her hands together and said very sincerely. After thinking for a while, she continued to speak. The teacher said that wishes can be fulfilled here. Yukinoshita Yukino replied lightly. That's not the case. The service department can only help at most, but leave this matter to us. So a cooking teaching began. From the beginning, tying an apron, kneading dough, eggs, baking. After nearly half an hour of fighting, the finished product finally came out. Looking at the black residue in the plate, Jiangnan picked up a relatively complete piece. Damn, even if it was made by a beautiful girl, I can't swallow it. Jiangnan pretended to be crying without tears. Yugahama Yui looked at the black biscuits. So failed. Yukinoshita Yukino rubbed her head. All the steps are there, but mistakes keep coming one after another. Hikigaya Hachiman also picked up a piece. Are you sure this is a cookie and not charcoal? Kato Megumi also picked up a piece. It was hard. If you want to eat it, you need to have good teeth. It's amazing. You can make something like this with flour. Yugahama Yui listened to everyone's comments and couldn't help but pick up a piece and take a closer look. It's really poison. Kato Megumi put down the cookie in her hand. I suggest Yugahama-san to practice more. Yugahama Yui lowered her head involuntarily. But, am I not suitable for cooking? I don't have that talent. Yukinoshita Yukino said lightly. Hard work is also a solution. The stars are shining tonight, and my heart is full of love for you. I miss you night after night. Those who give monthly tickets are all big bosses. Oh great. Chapter 30, Attack of the Dumplings. Kato Megumi looked at Yugahama Yui. Everyone has troubles. Even beautiful girls are the same. Yukinoshita Yukino continued to prepare the materials and said mercilessly. Yugahama-san, people who can't even make the minimum effort are not qualified to envy those talented people. Behind the success is hard work. Yugahama Yui hesitated and said. But everyone is like this. Yukinoshita Yukino said mercilessly. Can you stop trying to please the people around you? This is very unpleasant. Trying to join the group and losing your own personality is just to make yourself look less lonely. Others will not say it, even if they can see it, because this is the essence of society. It can also be called human relations. But Yukinoshita Yukino will say it mercilessly. Because this is her character. Yugahama Yui listened to Yukinoshita Yukino's merciless words and pointed out the problem incisively and felt so cool. Unlike her, she has no opinion and can only cater to others. On the other side, Kato Megumi started making cookies. Yugahama-san, let me teach you some simple ways to make cookies. Yugahama Yui turned her head and looked over. Kato Megumi smiled faintly. Kato Megumi was quite familiar with cooking, and she often made some dishes at home. Making cookies was also very simple. Soon, a whole plate of cookies came out of the oven. Golden and crispy. Just looking at the appearance, it felt pretty good. Yugahama Yui couldn't help but sigh. But, so amazing. Kato Megumi said with a smile. You try it. It seems that Kato Megumi has also entered the state and is wholeheartedly engaged in club activities. Making cookies. A plate of black cookies and a plate of golden cookies. Yugahama Yui looked at the black cookie she made and said a little frustrated. Completely different. Jiangnan picked it up and tasted it. It was edible, but just edible. Tuanzi-san, these cookies can already carry your heart. Jiangnan threw the remaining cookies in his hand into his mouth. Then he reached for another plate, ready to eat a few more cookies made by Kato Megumi. Yugahama Yui was a little confused. Jiangnan, for friends, gifts are not about the value, but the thought. Just like me, if a friend gives me handmade cookies, I will feel happy, even if they are not delicious, because I have received her thoughts, especially the cookies made by a beautiful girl like you. I will be so happy. Jiangnan stuffed Kato Megumi's cookies into his mouth and gave a thumbs up. Kato's craftsmanship is really good. Kato Megumi smiled lightly. I'm glad you like it. Turning his head, Jiangnan spoke to Yugahama Yui. Anyway, that's it. Do you understand? Yugahama Yui, if you don't understand, I'll give you an example. That's the black history of Leo Bay. By the way, I have a friend. Jiangnan was ready to blast the great teacher. Hikigaya Hachiman got anxious when he saw it and was ready to shut Jiangnan up. Yugahama Yui couldn't help laughing when she saw this scene. Zyoki, Jiangnan, you two have such a good relationship. Hikigaya Hachiman realized that his friendship with Jiangnan had deepened and they could even play with each other. Jiangnan admitted it without hesitation. Of course, we are friends. Hikigaya Hachiman muttered softly. Friends. Time always flies by quickly. A week passed like this. Jiangnan did not skip classes for a week. Hiratsuka Shizuka felt that it was a very correct choice to push the problem children to others. After a week of study and hard work, Yugahama Yui finally made handmade cookies that did not look so dark. In the club of the service department, Yugahama Yui's commission was also over. Is it really okay to end Yugahama Yui's commission last week like this? Yukinoshita asked everyone, obviously still a little dissatisfied. Kato Megumi sat in an inconspicuous place and continued to activate the power of invisibility. Hikigaya Hachiman had an indifferent expression. Isn't this good? Yukinoshita expressed her opinion. I think if you want to improve yourself, you have to challenge your own limits. Only by doing the best can you be the best. Hikigaya Hachiman put down the book in his hand and began to talk about his own twisted theories. Jiangnan tilted his head slightly and whispered to Kato Megumi. Old Hachiman has started to talk about twisted theories again. Kato Megumi nodded seriously. Anyway, it was not the first time she heard it. Hikigaya Hachiman, efforts will not betray yourself, but they will betray dreams. Even if you work hard, dreams may not be realized. It is better to say that it is correct to work hard, but not realize the dream. But because you have worked hard, when the dream fails, you have a reason to escape. Because I have tried my best. Yukinoshita Yukino said lightly. You are just self-satisfied, so disgusting. Hikigaya Hachiman. Kato Megumi watched quietly. It was like a passerby watching the story happening to the protagonist. The youth of passersby seemed pretty good. In Kato Megumi's eyes, Jiangnan was also the protagonist, and she was just an inconspicuous existence among the protagonist's many friends. Even so, she received a lot of care. Someone knocked on the door of the activity room. Hey, hello. Yugahama Yui opened the door and walked in. What's the matter? Yukinoshita Yukino said coldly as usual. Yugahama Yui was stunned for a moment. Am I hated? Yukinoshita Yukino thought for a moment. No, I just don't like you. Yugahama Yui. Hey, isn't that the same meaning? Yukinoshita Yukino didn't care about Yugahama Yui's reaction at all and continued to ask. Then what's the matter? Yugahama Yui smiled and took out the handmade cookie she prepared from her school bag. This is a thank you gift from a while ago. I worked hard to make it. She stuffed the packaged handmade cookies to Yukinoshita Yukino and then took out a few more. All 4 people in the club activity room received gifts. Kato Megumi looked at the exquisitely packaged handmade cookies in her hand. Or thank you gift? I didn't ask for anything in return. Yugahama Yui, I'm really happy after trying hard. How about trying something else next time? It was also the first time that Yukinoshita Yukino received a gift from her peers. She was a little overwhelmed. Yugahama Yui continued to speak energetically. Yukino, let's eat together in the club. And Yukino, I have a lot of time after school. I'll come to the club to help. Don't mind it. This is a thank you gift. Yukinoshita Yukino moved 1 or 2 centimeters. Yugahama Yui continued to attack. Yukino. 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 Jiangnan glanced at Hachiman Hikigaya. Hachiman Hikigaya didn't expect that he would receive a gift. Jiangnan, who knew everything, chose not to say anything. I beg for monthly tickets, investment, and follow-up reading. *******. The boss is generous and the boss is mighty. Recommendation votes are also required. Chapter 31. Friends. Every stage of life is precious. Because there is no chance to start over. Life is 80 years. Live happily every day. But not everyone has a life close to infinity. And ordinary daily life is also a part of life. It is better to say that most people in this world are living ordinary daily lives. The farce of youth. This is everyone's daily youth. Jiangnan is no exception. The Xiao group is still as noisy as usual. They are talking about which dessert shop to go to in the afternoon, or what kind of dessert to eat. Yugahama Yui put her hands behind her back, a little at a loss, trying to cater to others, but can't get a word in. Finally, she mustered up the courage. Yumiko really has a devilish figure. She must not be fat, no matter how much she eats. Miura Yumiko, really? Yukinoshita Yukino is not bad, right? Yugahama Yui couldn't help but think of Yukinoshita Yukino who has been helping her these days. Xiaoxu is also very good. Miura Yumiko narrowed her eyes and noticed the problem from the address. In neon. Generally speaking, only close friends will call the last name. Ordinary friends only address each other by their last names. Jiangnan is an exception. But, Yumiko, you have a better figure. Yugahama Yui explained in a panic. Hayato Hayama also saw Yui's panic and immediately smoothed things over. I will accompany Yumiko in the afternoon. The unhappiness on Miura Yumiko's face was instantly swept away. Okay. The bond between everyone in the Xiao Yan group is connected to Hayato Hayama. or he is the backbone of everyone. Kato Megumi saw this scene and whispered, "It feels so tiring to cater to others like this. Does Yugahama live in this environment every day?" Jiangnan relaxed his shoulders and expressed his helplessness. There is no way. Some people are afraid of loneliness, and the Zion-chan group is the most advanced social circle in the school. Just joining it can satisfy your vanity. Kato Megumi said lightly. But this kind of life is still too tiring. Jiangnan smiled confidently. So you have to be a handsome man as free as the wind like me, and there is no such thing as catering to others. Jiangnan and Yugahama Yui are two extremes in socializing. One tried hard to cater to others, joined the group, and hide his own personality. One tried hard to show his own personality, and made friends one after another with the personality of a sunny and cheerful big boy. Kato Megumi felt that she could not solve Yugahama Yui's personality, so she continued to be her own passerby. In the end, Yugahama Yui still plucked up the courage. "Well, I have a place to go at noon." Yugahama Yui remembered what Yukinoshita Yukino told her not to cater to others. Yugahama Yui also wanted to show her thoughts. Miura Yumiko seemed to be as usual, and said casually, "Then buy me a bottle of lemon tea. It's a headache. I forgot to bring a drink today." Yugahama Yui forced a smile and said, "Well, when I come back, it will be the 5th class, so I may not be able to." Yugahama Yui had already made an appointment with Yukinoshita Yukino to have lunch together at noon, and they will be in the activity room of the service club. It is precisely because of this that she has no time to buy drinks. Miura Yumiko did not seem to expect that the person who often caters to her would reject her. The expression on her face changed instantly. Jiangnan knew that it was over when he saw this scene, so he immediately sent a text message to Yukinoshita Yukino. "Tuanzi, danger, come to help quickly. Jiangnan stay." Kato Megumi also saw this scene. Jiangnan said in a low voice, "My identity is not suitable for joining the Zion-chan group, and if I stand up, Yugahama Yui's situation may be more dangerous." Yugahama Yui worked hard to please others before joining this social circle. If she stood up, it might directly lead to Yugahama Yui being excluded. At this time, Yukinoshita Yukino, a super poisonous tongue, is needed. A fight between women. Men are embarrassed to intervene, and they will most likely try to smooth things over. At that time, the relationship will definitely ease. Besides, there is Hayato Hayama, who is regarded as a good person by the great teacher, and everything is under control. Miura Yumiko showed an unhappy expression. Yugahama Yui seemed different today. "What do you mean? Yui, you've been a little difficult to get along with lately." Yugahama Yui looked at Miura Yumiko's unhappy eyes, and was a little at a loss. "How should I put it? It's also because of a personal reason. Sorry." Miura Yumiko knocked on the table with her hand. "I don't understand what you said. Explain it properly." Yugahama Yui was flustered, and didn't know how to explain. Kato Megumi looked at her indifferently. "Well, I always feel that Yugahama seems to be bullied." Jiangnan smiled confidently. "It doesn't matter. Our big boss will arrive at the battlefield in 10 seconds. It's time to let the enemy see how powerful we are." Miura Yumiko continued to ask, "So what's the reason?" Yugahama Yui bowed her head slightly to apologize. "Sorry." Hikigaya Hachiman couldn't bear it anymore and stood up. Then Miura Yumiko sat down again with a look. Jiangnan said in a low voice, "Old Hachiman can't do it. He can't stand it. How can a dead otaku withstand the attack of the current group?" Kato Megumi nodded. "Miura-san's eyes are so fierce." Just then, our big boss arrived at the scene. The door of the second year F class was opened. The cold and icy beauty Yukino Yukinoshita was standing at the door and looking coldly at Miura Yumiko, and Yugahama Yui lowered her head. An unknown flame seemed to appear. Jiangnan smiled gently. "There will be something interesting to watch next. Yugahama, you made an appointment with me but didn't come. Isn't it a bit rude? If you are going to be late, you should have sent an email." Yukino Yukinoshita's words were both plain and cold, and her eyes looked at Miura Yumiko without hesitation. Yugahama Yui turned around and trotted over, smiling. "Sorry, I don't know Yukino's phone number yet." Looking at the two close people, Miura Yumiko couldn't help but frowned. The battle was about to break out. Yukinoshita stood at the door, her arms folded, domineering. Even in someone else's class, in someone else's territory, she was still not at all inferior. In front of Yukinoshita Yugahama Yui seems to have let go of her personality of catering to others. Because she knows Yukinoshita and doesn't like her catering to others' personality. Yukinoshita if you don't know my phone number, then forget it. I won't bother with you this time. Thanks to Sponge Cake for the tip. Asterisk backquote asterisk, asterisk. Chapter 32, Breath of Youth. Yugahama Yui couldn't help but show a happy expression on her face. Mayuri Yumiko watched her friend being pried away and immediately stood up and said angrily, "Hey, we haven't finished talking yet. Jiangnan, the war has begun. The war has begun." This blonde girl probably doesn't know how powerful the poisonous tongue Yukinoshita is. Yukino's eyes were full of disdain and indifference. Tell me, is that considered a conversation? In my opinion, you are just imposing your opinions on others. Mayuri Yumiko's mouth twitched slightly. Yukino continued to attack, with a mocking smile on her lips. I didn't notice it. Sorry, because I don't understand your ecosystem. I accidentally took it as a threat from apes. Maybe you want to act as a mountain king and bluff, but please limit it to your own territory. Just like your Macup, it will soon peel off. Mayuri Yumiko didn't expect that she would be confronted like this one day, and said angrily, "What are you talking about? It's incomprehensible." As a good guy, Hayato Hayama came out to smooth things over at this time. Forget it, classmate Yukinoshita, let's stop here. Jiangnan curled his lips. Since Hayato Hayama has joined, the battle will end here. I declare this the victory of Yukino. The battle between the two sides ended with the defeat of Miura Yumiko. Yukino glanced at Yugahama Yui and said softly, "I'll go first." Yugahama Yui instantly understood what Yukino meant and nodded. "Well, I'll go right away." Then she turned and came to Miura Yumiko again, as if she wanted to say something. Seeing that the atmosphere was not right, the people around walked out one after another. Jiangnan, okay, the show is over, and we should leave too. Kato Megumi and Jiangnan stood up and prepared to leave the class. Jiangnan, hey, Leobei, come out and play together. Hikigaya Hachiman's awkward personality, if in this environment, I guess he will be suppressed and unable to breathe. At the door, Jiangnan, Yukino, Kato Megumi, Hikigaya Hachiman, stood in the corridor in silence. Yukino raised her cell phone first. There was a short text message on it. Jiangnan, how did you get my cell phone number? I don't remember exchanging cell phones with you. Jiangnan thought for a moment and said, this. Jingjing told me to call you if I have any questions. After all, you know, I'm the kind of person who is absent for half of the school time. Hiratsuka Shizuka is the instructor of the service club. Yukino is the head of the service club. Both parties naturally have each other's phone numbers. Yukino did not pursue it. Jiangnan spoke up, as our leader, it's unreasonable not to leave a contact number. What if we have something and can't participate in club activities? Yukino thought for a moment, then nodded seriously. You are right, then let's exchange numbers. Yugahama's situation is something I didn't expect. Inside the class, Yugahama Yui looked at Miura Yumiko very seriously. Outside the door, Jiangnan was very gossipy and stuck to the door, looking at the situation inside. Yugahama Yui took this opportunity to say everything in her heart. In fact, I envy Jiangnan, Ziozu, Kato, Zioki. They don't have to cater to others, but they live happily and can always speak their minds. I feel like I have been trying so hard to cater to others. Am I doing something wrong? They will understand and tolerate each other. Even if they have shortcomings, it will not affect their friendship. Just like Ziozu, no matter how straightforward she speaks, Jiangnan will not hate her. Zioki always pretends to sleep during lunch break. His personality is also very awkward and a bit disgusting, but everyone can tolerate him. So, I don't hate Yumiko. Can you still be friends with me in the future? Miura Yumiko also understood that Yugahama Yui was abnormal these days, and said a little arrogantly, Well, there's nothing wrong. A perfect ending. Congratulations. This is youth. Misunderstandings can always be resolved, Jiangnan said very happily. Is this youth? Is this friendship? This is what high school students should be like. Then he took a look. Yukino Yukinoshita, who has no friends. Hikigaya Hachiman, who has no friends. Kato Megumi, an ordinary passerby heroine. These few are exceptions. Jiangnan said in a low voice. Yukinoshita Yukino glanced over with cold eyes. What are you talking about? Jiangnan showed an awkward smile. I was saying that they are back together. It's good to make it clear. This is youth. This is friendship. After explaining clearly, Yugahama Yui was about to leave the class to find Yukinoshita Yukino. Jiangnan immediately turned around and ran away. Run away, run away. If Tuanzi sees this gossipy side, she will hate you. Yugahama Yui opened the door and there was only one person left. Hikigaya Hachiman. Did you hear everything, pervert? In the end, Hikigaya Hachiman took on everything. The teaching building was surrounded by lively students. By chance, Jiangnan saw two familiar figures. The breath of youth and the sour smell of love. Yuta, I want to make our base in this school. Takanashi Rika said with one hand covering her evil king's true eye that was sealed by the eye patch. Togashi Yuta rubbed his head in pain. Yes, you are right. Rika Takanashi, I have already thought of a name for this base, Far Eastern Magic Society. No one can stop the evil king's true eyes. Togashi Yuta looked at the excited Rika Takanashi and thought of his handle in her sister's hand. Okay, but I think it is unlikely to be realized. If you want to establish a club in school, you need an instructor. But which teacher is willing to be the instructor of the Chuanibaya club? Without an instructor, you can't establish a club. At most you can establish a club. Jiangnan watched quietly and found it very interesting. Chuanibaya was really fun. Then I walked over. It's better to share happiness than to enjoy it alone. It's fun to play together. Kato Megumi also followed, and the people around didn't seem to notice this girl with a slightly low presence. Evil King's true eyes. You are too weak to establish your own base in this place, where strong people are like trees. Jiangnan suppressed his voice, and made his voice a little stronger. Rika Takanashi and Togashi Yuta turned their heads to look. It was someone they didn't know. No, it should be considered a one-sided acquaintance. Chapter 33, I come from the legendary Yorazuaya. Togashi Yuta and Takanashi Rika know this person. After the mock exam at the beginning of the school year, he stood in front of everyone in the school and then told everyone in a resounding voice that he would dominate the entire high school. He dared to show his second year status in front of everyone without reservation. Togashi Yuta asked himself that he would not dare to do this, even if he was in the severe period of his second year syndrome. It was even more impossible for Takanashi Rika, who was a little socially anxious in addition to her second year syndrome. After knowing Jiangnan's identity, Togashi Yuta's first reaction was that Jiangnan was a very troublesome person, not as troublesome as Takanashi Rika. I recognize you, the evil king's true eye and the black flame user. I admit that you are very powerful, but you can't get the recognition of the god teacher now. Jiangnan pointed to the sky with one hand, looking like he was the only one in the world. Togashi Yuta felt his head tingling, and his second year history seemed to have been leaked again. Only in the first year of high school, Togashi Yuta could already foresee his miserable high school life. At first, Rika Takanashi was a little scared and hid behind Togashi Yuta. But after their brainwaves met, they instantly hardened up. The evil king's true eye is not inferior to anyone. Who are you? The evil king's true eye is invincible. No one can stop me. Jiangnan covered his face and laughed wildly, revealing an extremely arrogant aura. The evil king's true eye. The power of the gods is unimaginable. They are the highest leaders of this school. Without their permission, it is impossible to have your own territory here. Even if you have the help of the Black Flame Envoy, you can't kill a world here. Rika Takanashi covered her eyes with one hand. My evil king's true eye will never fail. Even the gods can't stop me. Jiangnan's eyes turned slightly and looked at Togashi Yuta, the Black Flame Envoy who has lost his power before regaining his power. His power is too limited. Your companion seems a little weak. The evil king's true eye. Rika Takanashi glanced at Togashi Yuta. Who are you? Why can you see through all this? Jiangnan chuckled. I'm a celestial being. Jiangnan is the name I used when I was a mortal. I come from the legendary Yorazuaya that can fulfill any wish. I have been watching you since you entered here. Rakata Kanashi was shocked. What? How is this possible? Jiangnan waved his hands and showed a very interesting smile. The evil king's true eyes. The dark flame envoy who has lost his power. I look forward to your performance. You will eventually challenge the gods and witness the horror of the gods. The territory you have worked hard for will eventually be taken away by the gods. Ha ha ha. Jiangnan turned around and left a handsome figure. Kato Megumi shook her head helplessly. Although she knew that Jiangnan had a second-year syndrome, but she didn't expect it to be so serious. Rakata Kanashi looked at Jiangnan's back as he left and said to Togashi Yuta with confidence, Yuta, I must establish my own club in this school. Togashi Yuta felt that his high school life was really going to be over. Now he had only one thought. For the sake of a happy high school life in the future, he must stay away from these Chunibayou. Come on. Togashi Yuta bowed slightly and said calmly, then turned and left. Yuta to Kanashi Rika chased after him directly. After Jiangnan left the two Chunibayou, he returned to his normal self. This is the legendary advanced Chunibayou. Chunibayou mode and normal mode switch at will. Don't you think it's interesting? Jiangnan had a happy smile on his face. Kato Megumi pondered for a moment. I don't quite understand. You seem to be playing some roles. Kato Megumi's life was a little too ordinary, and she had not experienced the Chunibayou era. Jiangnan explained at this time. This is actually the so-called Chunibayou. Of course, it is not actually a disease, but too much consciousness. Jiangnan briefly explained the Chunibayou. It is mainly that teenagers must have their own fantasy in their youth. Some are eager to drive a spaceship in the universe with lasers flying and fight side by side with GD Knights to resist the Imperial invasion. Some are alchemists who hope to cure patients and make various potions. Others are mad scientists who take various liquids and introduce them into bottles to mix them to see explosions. When they grow up to a certain age, have a certain degree of mobility, and are influenced by various warning quotes that seem to make sense, but are actually useless, they often do some things that are difficult for ordinary people to understand, such as tying bandages on their hands, wearing eye patches on uninjured eyes, wearing black, red cloaks in public places, and occasionally making some weird laughs. These behaviors are collectively called Chunibayou. Kato Hui thought seriously. Jiangnan sighed softly. In fact, many people don't understand Chunibayou. The group of peers will exclude those who are different from themselves. The mavericks of Chunibayou will lead to few or even no friends. It is a very happy thing for Chunibayou to have a friend who understands them. Kato Hui nodded. Being excluded in high school is very uncomfortable. Jiangnan, as long as you don't hurt others, as long as you don't cause trouble for others, as long as you have a kind heart, even if you have a Chunibayou, you can still be a good friend. I'm a sunny and cheerful boy. My duty is to bring smiles to others. Even if they have a Chunibayou, I hope they can be happy. As time goes by, they will eventually graduate from Chunibayou. Kato Hui looked at the confident Jiangnan and couldn't help but smile. Yeah. Such a protagonist is really good. Calculating the time, the two should go to the club activity room. As soon as they arrived at the door of the activity room, Jiangnan and Kato Hui saw everyone standing at the door and dared not go in. What happened? Jiangnan asked. Yukinoshita Yukino whispered. There is a very strange person in the activity room. Jiangnan glanced through the window on the door. Instantly, the brainwaves matched. It's Chunibayou. Yukinoshita Yukino didn't seem to understand what Chunibayou was. What is Chunibayou? Kato Hui said. It's someone who plays a certain role, probably a rather strange person. At this time, Hikigaya Hachiman came over from the other side. Looking at the people standing at the door, he said strangely, "What are you doing?" Jiangnan smiled lightly. "Hey, Leobei, I remember that guy should be your friend." Hikigaya Hachiman looked through the window. It was a boy wearing a windbreaker, a little fat. He stood at the window and door, and looked very crazy. Hikigaya Hachiman sighed and opened the door first. Chapter 34, Some Past Events. The door of the club opened. Ha ha ha. I didn't expect to see you here. The boy in the windbreaker said in a very second year tone. There were countless papers with words flying around. I've been waiting for a long time, Hikigaya Hachiman. The boy in the windbreaker crossed his hands and posed in a handsome pose. Hikigaya Hachiman couldn't help but sigh. Why are all my friends so weird? Yukinoshita Yukino said, you know him. Hikigaya Hachiman turned his head and said with disgust, I don't know him, and even if I do, I have to pretend not to know him. Zamakusa Yoshitaru is the name of the fat man in the windbreaker. Because his name resembles a samurai from the Warring States period, he thought he was that samurai. Hikigaya Hachiman was also regarded as a companion by him, because his name resembled someone from the Warring States period. After a period of brainwave second year communication, Zamakusa Yoshitaru finally said the reason for his visit. For the novel he wrote. Everyone sat together. Zamakusa Yoshitaru said seriously. This is the manuscript of a light novel I wrote. I intend to submit it to a newcomer award, but I don't have any friends and can't listen to other people's opinions. I would like to ask you to give some advice. Another person without friends. Yukinoshita Yukino rubbed her forehead. I feel that you just said something very sad, as if nothing had happened. Jiangnan said softly. Light novel. I seem to have written it before. Jiangnan remembered a few years ago, when he had become an immortal. After becoming an immortal, his brain was liberated, and the memories recorded in it were very clear. In order to test how clear the memories in his mind were, he started the old routine of a time traveler, plagiarizing. I thought it was fun at the time. I thought it was really cool to be a writer. Then I moved some classic works from my previous life. As I moved them, I got a disease that all authors have. I stopped updating, didn't want to write, wanted to play games, asked for sick leave, and quit. Later, I just became willful and quit. Since Jiangnan moved all the very popular works from his previous life, they became popular in this world. Then, the update was delayed, stopped, and interrupted. Readers who loved Jiangnan affectionately called him Old Thief. What a nice nickname. Some even wanted to send him to the palace. I remembered some of the past. Jiangnan smiled unconsciously. Hikigaya Hachiman said puzzledly. If you want to listen to opinions, why don't you publish it on the novel website? Zamakusa Yoshiki said very uncomfortably. Those people are too ruthless. If I receive bad reviews, I might die. Hikigaya Hachiman felt a little speechless. Then your heart is really very fragile. But I think Yukinoshita may be more ruthless. So everyone took the original manuscript of the novel home. Jiangnan just took a glance and read all the contents recorded in it. There are many illogical and inexplicable places. There are even contradictions, and there are many typos. This is completely the first self-congratulatory article written by a novice. After returning home, Jiangnan turned on his external cheating Goldfinger. I've been enjoying the daily life of youth recently. It's time to chat with my little brothers. Group leader Jiangnan, does anyone miss me? Is anyone in danger? Mingfei, long time no see. Group leader. Before the plot started, there was basically no danger here. There's nothing I have to say. Some normal adolescent high school events happened to me. I quit the literature department and joined the kendo club. Now I have no women in my heart, and I'm a natural god when I draw my sword. Namikaze Minato. Well, go to school. It's a pity that I graduated from the ninja school at the age of 12. The time in school was really a happy time worth missing. However, before the Ninetales rebellion began, I, as the fourth Hokage, would not be in danger. Saitama, I don't have much to do here. I just fight monsters and buy discounted items at the supermarket every day. Yonichitsu Gakuni, group leader, I don't have much to do here either. Miss Tameo has developed a potion that can turn ghosts into humans. The ghost issue has been completely resolved. Group leader Jiangnan, that's great. Everyone is at peace, and I'm enjoying my youthful daily high school life. If you encounter problems that you can't solve, just tag me. Mingfei, enjoy your youthful high school life. Group leader Jiangnan, as the group leader, I can't just enjoy myself. Keep playing music, keep dancing. Mingfei, why don't I believe it? Group leader Jiangnan, although I'm very strong, I'm just a sophomore in high school now. Isn't it normal to enjoy youth and high school life? Do you want to come to my world to play? But it's a super peaceful world. Mingfei, well, although I really want to go to the group leader's world to play, I have to go to school now, and I definitely can't go there before a long vacation. Namikaze Minato, group leader, I can't get away either. Things in the village have been a bit troublesome recently. It seems that Danzo has seen that I intend to win over the Uchiha clan, and the elders are intentionally or unintentionally putting pressure on me. Group leader Xiao Yan, pull me when you do it, I'll be your guarantee. Namikaze Minato, no problem. Saitama, how about I go over there to play? I don't have anything to do recently. Xiao Yan, okay, but you can't do anything rash. This is a super peaceful ordinary world, and it can't withstand your bombardment. Saitama, no problem. Group leader, I'm a hero. By the way, will the group leader provide food and accommodation? I'm a little. Group leader Xiao Yan, don't worry, you're a guest. There will be no problem with food and accommodation. At Sugakuni Uchi, a super peaceful world? Group leader Xiao Yan, yes, my world doesn't have those weird things. Everyone here is an ordinary person. Of course, there are some fights, but in general, this era is still very peaceful. It's okay for normal people to live an ordinary life. At Sugakuni Uchi, I want to go over and take a look. Group leader Xiao Yan, no problem, come on. Come to my house. I guess Mr. Uchi hasn't experienced the benefits of modern society yet. As the host, I will treat you well. Mingfei, damn it, I want to go too. Group leader Xiao Yan, study hard. Dear, enjoy your daily high school life. Mingfei, my high school life was not good at all. Group leader Xiao Yan, it's okay, just bear with it. Your college life will be even worse anyway. Mingfei, I'm so hurt, please comfort me. Group leader Xiao Yan, it really can't be done. I'll start a live broadcast and you can only watch. Namikaze Minato, this is not bad. Every day when I have nothing to do, I like to save some manuscripts, and I will post them as soon as I wake up. I have written more than 50 chapters in the saved manuscripts now, and my daily work is almost over, so there are only a few chapters left. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 35, Conveniences in Modern Society. Group leader Xiao Yan, blame me. Mingfei, you also sent images. Group leader Xiao Yan, backquote, it doesn't matter. Saitama, hit you. I can do that too. At Sugikoku Uchi, you can still play like this. At Sugikoku Uchi, wow. Namikaze Minato, *****. Group leader Xiao Yan, it's nighttime here, and I should go to bed. It's not suitable for you to be my guest. Let's do it tomorrow. I'll play with you guys tomorrow. It's a new day again. Group leader Xiao Yan agrees to let Uchi Tsugumi enter his world. Group leader agrees to let Saitama enter his world. Group leader Xiao Yan starts live broadcast. The morning sun is so beautiful. It's time to skip classes today. After being a good student for so long, it's time to be willful. Two black holes appeared. Saitama and Uchi Tsugumi slowly walked out of the hole. As soon as they came out, they looked around curiously. Uchi Tsugumi lived in ancient times, so he was curious about everything. Saitama was curious about what the other world was like. This is a villa. Xiao Yan's private villa covers an area of more than 10,000 square meters. Welcome to my home, both of you. Xiao Yan said with a big smile. Uchi Tsugumi looked at the gorgeous decoration. Is this the modern world 600 years later? Xiao Yan nodded. Saitama looked around. There are no weirdos in this world, so naturally there is no need for heroes. Every country has its own army to maintain national order. Would you like to drink the Fat House Happy Water? Xiao Yan casually took out 2 bottles of Fat Otaku Happy Water from the refrigerator. The frozen ones tasted especially good. The two took the Fat Otaku Happy Water. Saitama unscrewed it and started drinking. Delicious. Jigoku Uchi also learned to unscrew the Fat Otaku Happy Water. He took a sip. It was cold, sweet and comfortable. Jiangnan began to introduce. Mr. Yuchi, you may not know much about modern society. Now this society has entered the information age. Many unrealizable ideas have been realized, such as flying, such as traveling abroad. Jiangnan snapped his fingers lightly, and the villa lit up brilliantly. Then the air conditioner hidden in the ceiling began to blow a light cool breeze. A huge villa began to slowly cool down. Saitama looked at the air conditioners moving everywhere. How much electricity will this cost? Jiangnan knew that Saitama was a person who was reluctant to turn on the air conditioner in summer. Don't worry, although I'm not a big local tyrant, I can still afford this electricity bill. Jiangnan smiled. After all, he was the group leader of the plug-in chat group, so he had to be grand. In this information age, technology is developing very rapidly, and it can even make the hot summer very cool, or the cold winter warm and comfortable. Ji Goyuan felt very good after listening to Jiangnan's introduction. And food. With the development of the times, food has also undergone various changes. Salt has become finer, and there are some precious condiments such as chili, spices, and pepper, which ordinary people can afford. At this moment, a projection appeared. It was Mingfei in school uniform. It seemed that he was still in class. He was watching the live broadcast while slacking off in class. Here I come, group leader. Jiangnan chuckled. You dare to slack off in class? Mingfei, I can't help it. I can't come to your world to play. Anyway, I don't have much presence in the class, so I might as well slack off in class. Jiangnan, yeah, you can basically be said to have been admitted. Mingfei sighed. There's nothing I can do. Castle Academy has already recognized me. I can't run away, so it doesn't matter whether I study now or not. It won't affect my admission. Jiangnan, the admitted students are really arrogant. Mingfei didn't dare to make any big movements, and said with a smile. Group leader, is this where you live? It's so big. Let me see it. Jiangnan had already come to the kitchen with everyone at this time. Okay, the next thing I'm going to introduce is my kitchen. Opening the door, looking around, there are several refrigerators, and a new kitchen made of stainless steel and advanced technology. Above the head, there is a huge range hood, and the shelves are filled with all kinds of cooking seasonings, both Western and Eastern. The floor is paved with precious marble, and it is non-slip after special polishing. Jiangnan let everyone in. This is my kitchen. Whether it is Western or Eastern cuisine, my kitchen can make it. The entire kitchen covers an area of hundreds of square meters, which is enough for a team of chefs to make the food I want here, and the cooking materials are all in the refrigerator. Open the fresh keeping refrigerator, which is full of various vegetables, all are the freshest. Then there is the freezer, which contains various kinds of meat. The seafood refrigerator contains various kinds of seafood. There are also live seafood here. Mingfei was stunned. He had seen luxury, but he had never seen such luxury. Jiangnan continued to introduce. All the fresh food materials here have been cast into the spell of time stopping by me, and they will never rot or spoil. Mingfei's face was very miserable. I've seen powerful people, but I've never seen anyone as powerful as you. Jiangnan smiled slightly. After all, my strength is there. Although I can't use those world-destroying powers, some small conveniences are still okay. Mingfei looked at the group leader, and then looked at himself. Damn it. I'm such an enviable winner in life. Jiangnan relaxed his shoulders. It's okay. Compared to some real local tyrants and cheebles, this is nothing to me. Then Jiangnan picked up 2 apples from the fruit shelf next to him. They were both bright red apples, picked just when they were the ripest. Don't be polite to me. I'm the host today. After saying that, he handed over the apples. These were all washed apples. Then Jiangnan led everyone to his bedroom. The bedroom was not big, and the decoration was relatively simple, but the quilt and cushion on the bed were made of the highest quality down. They looked ordinary, but were actually very expensive. Then they came to his wine cellar, which was filled with various expensive wines. The room opposite the wine cellar was filled with imported original cheeses, which were all good things. He took a simple tour. There were still many places that Jiangnan did not introduce, because if he introduced them further, he would not have time to play. Chapter 36, Skipping Class. School. Shizuka Hiratsuka always had a bad feeling. As expected, she saw Jiangnan's seat empty as soon as she arrived at the class. As expected, something unexpected happened. This bastard boy skipped classes again. He was fine these few days. Shizuka Hiratsuka left the class and took out his cell phone. Let's try calling. As soon as the call was made, Jiangnan answered. Hello Jingjing, the number you dialed is temporarily unavailable. Please call again later. Shizuka Hiratsuka said loudly to the phone. Jingjing, you are a ghost. Even if you pretend, can't you pretend to be more realistic? What are you doing? You are not skipping classes again. Hurry up and get out of here. Jiangnan said in a very matter-of-fact tone. Of course I have to skip today. No. Ask for leave, Jingjing. My uncle is here today, so I'll ask for a few days off first. Shizuka Hiratsuka felt her mind go blank. Even if this problem child in her class asks for leave, his excuses are so weird. Uncle. Where can boys get uncles? At this time, another man's voice came from the phone. How do I open this game, group leader? It's such a high-tech game. I've never played it before. Jiangnan's voice rang out. This is a new free exploration open world game. Let's do this first, then this. By the way, Mr. Yuchi, if you want to drink tea, I have tea leaves in the next room. I have collected all the types of tea in the world, and I guarantee that they will suit your taste. If you want to drink a beverage, just tell the smart butler. Mingfei, you still want to come and eat and drink for free, just go to school. I won't agree. It's useless to beg me. Then he hung up the phone. Shizuka Hiratsuka tried not to be too angry. This bastard. He must have a party at home with a bunch of friends. Shizuka Hiratsuka felt that she was fooled. This bastard is here. I must let him taste the iron fist of love. Jigo Yuchi sat on a chair on the second floor, looking at the clear sky and the busy streets. Surrounded by tall buildings, the streets were full of traffic. Large and small cars occasionally honked their horns. There are some small shops selling fruits and food on the street. People are busy. What a peaceful world. People in this world don't have to struggle between life and death. Because of the protection of the law, everyone is doing their own thing. Think about your own world. It is a luxury for many people to survive. Even a winter can take away many lives. But human power is small. If you want to change an era, it is not possible for Jigo Yuanai to do it alone. There are small snacks on the table next to Jigo Yuanai, which are brought by the smart housekeeper. The smart housekeeper is a robot operated by artificial intelligence. It is the housekeeper of the entire villa and is responsible for the order of the entire villa. Although it is not a powerful artificial intelligence, it can protect the entire villa and ensure the cleanliness and hygiene of the villa. Jiangnan and Saitama are playing games in the esports room at this time. Battle game. Such an everyday world can't withstand the battle between two people with extremely high combat power. So they changed another way and used games to decide the winner. On the huge screen, two characters are fighting madly. This is the 3D version of King of Fighters. Jiangnan smiled slightly. You are still careless after all. Saitama, eat my Lushan Xinglangba. K.O. Saitama lost again. Damn it, how is it possible? I will definitely beat you next time. Jiangnan smiled disdainfully. If you want to beat me, hone it for another 10 years. There are all kinds of snacks next to the two people. Spicy strips, potato chips, Fat House Happy Water. Jigo Yuanai wants to see this era, so he has been looking at the modern city outside. He likes to drink tea and occasionally makes some tea. Jiangnan gave him a mobile phone and an instruction manual. This can help Jigo Yuanai understand the world faster. As time slowly flows, Saitama and Jiangnan exchanged various games. Jiangnan has a collection of all the games in the world. Mingfei can only watch the live broadcast with jealousy and envy. He also wants to play, but he is just a student, and he can't skip classes like Jiangnan. The 4th generation Hokage seems to have free time, and also projected over. Looking at the city with tall buildings, the 4th Hokage couldn't help but sigh at the beauty of this era. Jiangnan told him that there is no extraordinary power in this world. People here are not like people in the ninja world, who can practice chakra and use all kinds of strange ninjutsu. They are just ordinary people, just like ordinary villagers in Konoha. There are very few wars in this era, and everyone has the right to live. Children don't have to go to the battlefield. Of course, they can choose to be soldiers after they grow up to defend their country. But politics still exists in this world. Where there are people, there are struggles. It's just that those struggles are still far away. Compared with the ninja world, society is much better now. The ninja world is quite cruel. Students who have just graduated at the age of 12 have to go to the battlefield as cannon fodder. It is very common for children aged 7 or 8 to go to the battlefield. In today's society, children aged 7 or 8 are still playing in the mud with runny noses. And the 7 or 8-year-old children in the ninja world are killing enemies one after another on the battlefield with Kune. Uchiha Itachi is also on the battlefield, thinking about the meaning of life. Jiangnan thinks that the Naruto world needs a revolution. Let 7 or 8-year-old children go to the battlefield, and then a group of old bastards reap the benefits. It's really disgusting. The fourth Hokage seemed to be thinking about something, but the power of one person is too small after all. If you want to change the whole world by yourself, you must at least have the strength of a boss. Soon it was noon. The smart housekeeper began to be busy in the kitchen. Turn on the automated machine and start making various delicacies. These are all set programs and recipes for planning nutrition. Various delicacies began to be processed accurately. After various high-tech calculations, the heat and time of each dish are very accurate. This computing power has surpassed the technology of modern society. The smart computer housekeeper installed in the villa is a high-tech that Jiangnan bought in the chat group. It does not belong to this era. Saitama was playing games and eating snacks at the same time. He was not very hungry, but he still had to eat. As various delicious foods came out of the pot, a table of sumptuous lunch was ready. Mr. Jiangnan, today's lunch is ready. Please go to the restaurant to eat. Mr. Saitama, please come and have a seat. On the other side, Jigoyuchi also received a reminder from the smart butler. An intelligent robot came to Jigoyuchi. Mr. Yuchi, lunch is ready. Please follow me to eat. Chapter 37, Going Home. As a host, Jiangnan treated the guests very well. But they still had to leave. Because this is not their world, not their home. Saitama went back after playing for 2 days and continued to live his life as a hero, fighting monsters and buying discounted things every day. Although the food was not as good as at Jiangnan's house, Saitama still liked his own home. Jigoku Yoshiichi also went back and planned to open a dojo to teach kendo in the territory of the Yubuayashiki clan after returning. Everyone has their own things to do. Jiangnan did not force it. After all, everyone has to go their own way. A new day. Jiangnan went to school again after skipping classes for 2 days. Good morning, Kato. Kato Megumi raised her head slightly and showed a faint smile. Good morning, Jiangnan. As time passed, the class bell rang. Hiratsuka Shizuka saw Jiangnan as soon as she came. As expected, Jiangnan received an iron fist from Hiratsuka Shizuka today. Today Shizuka is still so powerful. Jiangnan gave a thumbs up. Fortunately, Shizuka Hiratsuka did not pursue it too much. In this way, the courses of various subjects began, and the boring courses finally came to physical education. Fortunately, Neon's physical education teacher is in good health and does not get sick easily. You should know that Jiangnan's physical education teacher in the previous life could get sick for a semester. Physical education class. 2 people in a group. The physical education teacher shouted loudly. This section of physical education class is playing tennis. Hikigaya Hachiman is ready to play a park with the wall alone. Jiangnan's ability to play tennis is basically just for fun. Bullying children is really boring. Unless you play tennis with interesting people. For example, Hikigaya Hachiman. With the start of free activities, Hikigaya Hachiman went to find the physical education teacher. Using the excuse of feeling unwell, he began to practice alone. Jiangnan watched this scene quietly. It really fits Liu Bei's character. I guess he has a lot of phalluses in his heart. Since he can't play with Hikigaya Hachiman, he might as well play alone. Jiangnan leaned against the wall alone, hitting the tennis ball with the racket in his hand. Then he turned the racket and hit it with the corners, and the round ball was firmly controlled in his hand. A cute girl. not far away saw this scene and felt incredible. Because no one can control the tennis ball so accurately, it's still quite boring. Jiang Nan tapped the tennis racket in his hand lightly, and the tennis ball drew a parabola in the air, and then accurately entered the tennis fence dozens of meters away. Jiang Nan didn't even look at it, as if he had expected this result. Next, Jiang Nan was going to leave here and find a place to play by himself. As the top student in the grade, there are always some privileges. The physical education teacher pretended not to see it. Anyway, Jiang Nan was also a famous problem student. It seemed that he felt that there was always a line of sight looking at him. Jiang Nan turned his head and saw a cute girl with white hair, holding a tennis racket, pale and delicate skin, with a faint smile on her face. So cute, it must be a boy. Jiang Nan waved his hand to show that he saw it. Totsuka Reika, a cute boy, a gentle little angel. The man who almost turned Hikigaya Hachiman gay. If Totsuka Reika was a girl, there might be no one else. Totsuka Reika was stunned for a moment, then waved her hand. It was a greeting. The two were classmates, had said a few words, and greeted each other a few times, and were considered ordinary friends. At noon, Jiang Nan stood by the window, overlooking the scenery below. Hikigaya Hachiman was sitting with Yugahama Yui. At this time, Leo Bei should have discovered the abnormality of Tuanzi. Adolescent boys and girls are troublesome, and Leo Bei's character hates gentle girls. The three major illusions in life: I can do it, I can fight back, she likes me. Because of the gentleness of a girl, Hikigaya Hachiman thought she liked me, and then confessed. The result was that he was severely rejected. In order not to be hurt again, Hikigaya Hachiman became a master of self-exposure, thinking that youth is all shit, and hates gentle girls, because gentle girls will give him an illusion. At this time, Kato Megumi finished her lunch and walked over, silently and difficult to be discovered. But Jiang Nan discovered it at the first time. Have you finished eating, Kato? Kato Megumi nodded, and then looked at the milk in Jiang Nan's hand. Is this all you have for lunch? Jiang Nan glanced at the milk in his hand. Actually, I don't need to eat. This is just a disguise, to prevent myself from looking too strange. Kato Megumi just felt that Jiang Nan's second year syndrome had come back. Why are you always able to find me first? Kato Megumi leaned in front of the window and asked a question that she had been thinking about for a long time. Because you are my friend. If I can't even notice my own friends, then I'm too much of a failure. Jiang Nan said as a matter of course. Kato Megumi, really? But many of my friends sometimes can't notice me. Jiang Nan, well maybe I'm special. For example, I'm your best friend. Kato Megumi smiled slightly. Best friend. I don't have many friends, don't lie to me. Jiang Nan, of course, if I lie, I'm a puppy. Kato Megumi seemed very happy. But I think the name between close friends should be more intimate than that between ordinary friends. Jiang Nan thought about the etiquette in Japan. Who? Kato Megumi, please give me more advice, Jiang Nan. Because he is a time traveler, Jiang Nan's way of thinking is more inclined to his previous life. He doesn't care much about some of Japan's cumbersome etiquette. Kato Megumi leaned on the window and looked down along Jiang Nan's gaze and saw Hachiman Hikigaya and Yugahama Yui. They seemed to be chatting happily. Yugahama Yui was still punching Hachiman Hikigaya's shoulders with her little fists. Kato Megumi, they seem to have a good relationship, Jiang Nan said while drinking the milk in his hand. Yes. But Leo Bei is too gentle and too smart. Kato Megumi said lightly. Did something happen between them? Jiang Nan nodded. Something happened, but I will solve it. After all, I'm a sunny and cheerful boy. Jiang Nan showed a warm smile. Kato Megumi didn't say anything, but watched quietly. By the way, Kato, what do you think of our club? Do you have any other clubs that you're interested in? Kato Megumi thought for a moment and said lightly. I don't have any acquaintances in other clubs, and I'm not that outstanding. It's good for me to stay in the service club. Jiang Nan chuckled. Our director has a sharp tongue. At first I was afraid that you would hate her. Kato Megumi is still so gentle and easygoing. Yuki Noshita is actually a very nice person. Although she speaks a little bluntly, you'll find that she's actually a very easygoing person to get along with. Jiang Nan drank the milk in his hand. That's great, but since I'm back from leave, I should report to the director. Chapter 38, Cute Boy. Service Club, Activity Room. Kato Megumi and Jiangnan came here as usual. Yukinoshita Yukino said nothing. At this time, there was no commission, so they had to do what they had to do. Jiangnan picked up a light novel from his bookshelf. Kato Megumi did the same. But today's Hikigaya Hachiman was a little strange. He was actually going to quit the service club and join the tennis club. The reason was that Totsuka Reika invited him. As a result, he was naturally rejected by Yukinoshita Yukino. Jiangnan's mouth curled up a wicked smile. He wanted to run away, but he couldn't. Old Hachiman. I didn't expect you to be such a person who values love over friendship. I admit that Totsuka Reika in our class is a very beautiful person, but he is a boy. A cute boy. Old Hachiman, I just thought you were more autistic, so you didn't have any female friends, but I didn't expect it was because Jiangnan's face was full of disbelief. Hikigaya Hachiman had a question mark on his face. He just wanted to find a reason to quit the service club and then slowly fade out of everyone's sight and continue to return to his daily life without friends. But how could Jiangnan let him go? Old 8, I respect your sexual orientation. If you insist on quitting, I can only add fuel to the fire. No, tell Jingjing the truth. I believe Jingjing will give you an iron fist education of love. Yukinoshita Yukino turned her head and looked at Hikigaya Hachiman with a look of looking at trash. It's over. Misunderstanding. Hikigaya Hachiman knew that his conspiracy had failed. It was impossible to quit. He could only try to explain. No, after all, this is someone else asking me to do it. Jiangnan had a smile on his face, as if his conspiracy had succeeded. Soon the commotion subsided. Hikigaya Hachiman felt so tired. The door of the activity room opened again. Yo. Hello. Yugahama Yui walked in excitedly. I brought a client today. Totsuka Reika came out from behind Yugahama Yui embarrassedly. Hikigaya Hachiman, Jiangnan, and Kato. Why are you here? After seeing the acquaintances, Totsuka Reika was a little surprised. Of course the three of us are participating in club activities, because all three of us are members of this club. Jiangnan explained. Yugahama Yui continued to speak excitedly. I'm also a member of the service club, so I wanted to contribute my own strength, and I just happened to meet the troubled Zioke. Yukinoshita Yukino thought about her tone and said calmly, Yugahama-san, you don't seem to be a member of the service club. Yugahama Yui was slightly stunned. Indeed, she has not submitted an application for joining the club. Ah. Jiangnan sighed helplessly. Tuanzi-san, you need to submit an application to join the club. We all came in this way. Strictly speaking, you are not a member of our service club, but since you have proposed it, if you really want to join this club, you can submit it now. It's not too late. Okay, I'll write it. As for the club application, I can write as many words as I want. Yugahama Yui looked dazed and a little anxious. At this time, Kato Megumi handed over an application for joining the club and a pen. Just write down the reason. Yugahama Yui picked up the pen and began to fill in the information. Anyway, do you have any questions? Totsuka Reika-san. Yukinoshita Yukino asked. Totsuka Reika briefly explained her commission. Because the seniors in the tennis club are leaving, there are not many people in the tennis club, so she hopes that someone can accompany her to train and make her stronger. Yukinoshita Yukino thought for a while and nodded. I'll take your commission. I will help improve your skills. Totsuka Reika said a little embarrassedly. I think if my skills are well practiced, others will work hard with me. I think so. Jiangnan thought it was quite interesting. Yukinoshita Yukino then looked at Hikigaya Hachiman. Hikigaya Hachiman has not forgotten what happened just now. You look at what I'm doing. You don't want to. Yukinoshita Yukino smiled slightly. It's what you think, Hikigaya. Club activities are usually carried out in free time. There are not many courses in this daily world high school, except for the busy semester of the third year of high school. The first and second year of high school are relatively free, and there will be a lot of time. In addition to focusing on learning, the school also pays attention to students' social life. In this way, everyone began to accompany Totsuka Reika for tennis training. Because Zamakusa Yoshiki didn't have many friends, a friend of his, Hikigaya Hachiman, also joined in to help with the training. By the way, he continued to revise his novel and let others express their opinions. Jiangnan was enjoying his youth. Being with a cute boy really made people feel happy. Yukinoshita Yukino used scientific methods to develop a series of training plans. Day after day, Totsuka Reika's training has reached the second stage. This day was the same as usual. Jiangnan played against Totsuka Reika. Even if he let her win, Totsuka Reika found it difficult to get a ball from Jiangnan. The tennis ball spun in the air and finally drew an arc. Totsuka Reika was finally a step slower, didn't catch it, and slipped to the ground. "Are you okay?" Jiangnan said lightly. Totsuka Reika stood up with difficulty. "It's okay, everyone is training with me, I want to work harder." "Jiangnan, let's take a break first, and then you can practice with Totsuka Reika." Totsuka Reika was stunned for a moment. Jiangnan waved his racket. "Totsuka Reika, it's meaningless for you to play against me now. At least wait until you finish all the training, and then play against me. It will be meaningful to improve. Don't be too ambitious." Yukinoshita Yukino nodded. Totsuka Reika held the racket, a little sad. "I always feel that no matter how hard I train recently, I can't improve." Jiangnan said disapprovingly, "Since Yukinoshita has accepted your commission, she will definitely complete it to the highest standard, because this is her principle of life, doing things to the extreme." Hikigaya Hachiman also came over to cheer for Totsuka Reika. "It will be fine." Just as everyone was chatting, a discordant voice appeared. "Hey, playing tennis. Hey, can we play here for a while?" Jiangnan looked at the group of people coming over. This is the group of second year class F led by Hayato Hayama. The one who spoke is Miura Yumiko, the one who was previously silenced by Yukinoshita Yukino. It seems that she came here for revenge. The wonderful youth also needs the appearance of villains. Chapter 39, Game Players. Totsuka Reika explained. "Miura-san, we are not playing here. What are you talking about? I didn't hear you." Yumiko Miura showed an arrogant expression. It was now Yukinoshita's turn to appear. As the leader of the group, Yukinoshita took the stage at this time. It seems that someone has not only degenerated in thinking, but also in hearing. He can't understand such simple words. He looks very much like an ape. Yumiko Miura looked at Yukinoshita and instantly got angry. "Ha. You are so annoying. Yugahama Yui immediately stood up to persuade her. "Zayaksu, Yumiko, don't quarrel, don't quarrel." Yukinoshita chuckled. Hikigaya Hachiman stood behind everyone and explained, "This venue was applied for by Totsuka, and no one else can use it." Yumiko Miura said dissatisfiedly. "Then why can you use it?" Hikigaya Hachiman said naturally, "Because we are here to train with Totsuka." Yumiko Miura smiled. "Then we can train too. What's wrong with that?" Hayato Hayama tried to smooth things over. "It's fun to play together." Hikigaya Hachiman was a little speechless, and it looked like it couldn't end easily. Yukinoshita Yukino was about to continue speaking. Jiangnan took a step forward with boredom. "It's natural to participate in such interesting things. He is very strong, and he needs to be more restrained when playing with friends, to avoid some irreparable mistakes. These days of sparring are boring to death." In fact, Jiangnan also enjoys the pleasure of killing opponents in the game, such as forcing the opponent to the fountain to kill. But because they are friends, Jiangnan will deliberately let them go, and won't kill the opponent. But some people don't need to do that. Beat them to tears, kill them, and help them quit playing games. It just so happens that we just finished training, and Totsuka needs to rest first. I'll play with you. How about helping you quit playing games? Jiangnan smiled sweetly, as if he saw a friend he hadn't seen for a long time. Although Jiangnan usually likes to smile, that smile is definitely not sweet. Yukinoshita Yukino didn't stop him, but watched from the side. Teacher Hiratsuka once said that Jiangnan's athletic talent was beyond imagination. Hayato Hayama looked at everyone, and Yumiko Miura looked like she was going to fight, and then nodded. "Thank you, Jiangnan-san." Jiangnan smiled back. "You're welcome, Hayama-san, just don't cry for a while." "Hey." You're too arrogant. Do you know who I am? Yumiko Miura couldn't help it. It's okay that Yukinoshita Yukino is so arrogant. It's really unbearable for a middle school student with a second year syndrome to be so arrogant. Jiangnan covered his face and laughed wildly, with a crazy look on his face. There is no place for the weak in the eyes of the strong. Yumiko Miura felt that this person was really arrogant. Then let you see how powerful I am. The others sat in front of the steps and looked at Jiangnan, who was having an attack. Yukinoshita Yukino said puzzledly. Does he often do this? Kato Megumi nodded. Hikigaya Hachiman was helpless because all his friends had problems. Jiangnan is even more normal, sometimes crazy, and does things completely as he pleases. Yukinoshita Yukino, who do you think will win? Hikigaya Hachiman analyzed the battle situation calmly. I heard that Miura Yumiko's tennis skills are quite good, and Hayama Hayato seems to be the trump card of the football club. He must have good athletic talent, is handsome, and is popular with girls. The damn tall, rich and handsome guy even wants to snatch tennis from us. Hikigaya Hachiman did not lower his voice at all. Yukinoshita Yukino sighed helplessly. I can understand the first part, but the second part is completely your personal complaint. You can't make friends, no matter how you look at it. It's all caused by your awkward personality. Hayama Hayato naturally heard the meaningful words of Hikigaya Hachiman. So he smiled and said, how about this? Let's have a game. Whoever wins can use the court during lunch break, and of course, he has to accompany Totsuka-san for training. I believe that people with better skills and techniques will make more progress in training. Hayama Hayato also did not lower his voice. Obviously, he said this to everyone present. Jiangnan continued to smile. Can I understand this as a provocation? Hayato Hayama shook his head. No, I just want everyone to have fun this way. Totsuka Reika wanted to say something. Jiangnan laughed instead, still as crazy as ever. Ha ha ha. Interesting, really interesting. You know, there is an unwritten rule in our hometown. That is, when playing with others, try to give others face and cannot shut out the opponent, especially in other people's territory. But now I have decided that I will not only beat you to tears, but also shut you out. Of course all of you can come together. Arrogant to the extreme. Even Hayato Hayama didn't know what to say. Miura Yumiko couldn't stand this guy pretending to be cool, so she stepped forward. Then I'll take it as your consent. Jiangnan, of course. By the way, I advise you to change into sportswear. Don't say I'm bullying you. Miura Yumiko, TSK. Miura Yumiko changed into sportswear. The slender thighs were exposed, and the whole person looked very energetic. She was worthy of being the face of the Zion-chan group. The two stood on the tennis court. The wind and clouds were surging. People around were watching. Let's start. Miura Yumi flicked the tennis ball in her hand and hit it directly. The ball was fast and strong. Hayama Hayato looked at the extremely fast ball and said, Yumiko passed the junior selection of women's professional tennis when she was in junior high school. However, the next moment, a faster ball landed not far from Miura Yumiko. Before Miura Yumiko could react, the ball fell on the iron net and then kept spinning and stuck on it. Jiangnan won a point. Hayama Hayato didn't seem to expect this to be the case. The next one-sided battle, not to mention getting a point. Miura Yumiko couldn't even catch a ball, and after Jiangnan served, Miura Yumiko's racket didn't even touch the ball. Superb serving skills and fast playing style are simply not something that humans can do. Perhaps only the top players who participate in the world-class Olympics can barely do it. Everyone thought Jiangnan would be strong, but they didn't expect him to be so ridiculously strong. So one can imagine what kind of state Jiangnan was in from the training he showed these days. Totsuka Reika lowered her head unconsciously. Game over. Jiangnan smiled disdainfully. 020. Chapter 40. Unwritten Rules. Yumiko Miura was panting, obviously exhausted. The expression on her face was very complicated. She thought she would lose, but she didn't expect to lose so badly. The gap between the two people can't be made up by hard work. The strength exposed by Jiangnan is just like an adult beating a child. It's just for fun. Thinking about how confident she was, but ended up losing so badly. I want to cry a little. Hold it in. Can't cry. Jiangnan sighed and remembered an unknown rule in her country before she traveled through time. You can't shut out the opponent, at least give 1 or 2 points. Beat the opponent to tears, and you have to be responsible for comforting him. When Zhang Damalang beat Ai Fukuhara to tears, the coach personally taught her how to give points. It's not my fault. The opponent insisted on provoking. There's nothing I can do. In fact, after reading all the youth stories, you will find that Yumiko Miura is not bad. And Beidu's evaluation is a classmate of Hachiman Hikigaya, a partner of Hayama, blonde hair, regular features, a queen-like existence, was a member of the tennis club in junior high school, the pinnacle of female modernity, good friends with Ebina Himina and Yugahama Yui, the pinnacle of female interpersonal relationships in the class. A blonde super beautiful girl, she is admired by many boys in school because of her beauty, created with extraordinary efforts, but the boys know that she likes Hayama and dare not pursue her rashly. She is very proactive in interpersonal communication, so she lacks common sense in interpersonal communication like Queen Mary. In fact, she cries easily, cares about her friends, directly raises questions that Yugahama has no opinion on, wants to help Ebina find a boyfriend but is rejected, and likes Hayama Hayato. There is an older sister and an older brother at home. Well, you have to comfort her yourself when she cries. Jiangnan waved at Hayama Hayato. The blonde handsome guy over there, don't you come to comfort your girlfriend when she loses? What an unqualified boyfriend. Hayama Hayato was originally planning to come over, and Jiangnan reminded him, and he came over immediately. Miura Yumiko was immediately happy when she heard that someone thought Hayama Hayato was her boyfriend. Damn, you still have good taste. Hayato Hayama neither denied nor agreed. In the end, the Zion-chan group left. Women are so easy to please. Jiangnan shook his head, then turned around and looked at the people sitting on the steps. What are you looking at? It makes me look like some unforgivable devil. Yukinoshita Yukino nodded undeniably. You beat the girl to tears. You are really a man without a gentleman. Hikigaya Hachiman, I also think that Jiangnan, you are a bit of a bully. Jiangnan turned his head and looked at Kato Megumi and said hurt. Hoo, you don't think so? Kato Megumi smiled embarrassedly. So, although I really want to stand on your side, it is really rude to beat a girl to tears. Jiangnan felt so heartbroken. I'm obviously here to protect our territory. Why? My subordinates are still fighting. Why did the minister surrender first? Yukinoshita Yukino saw Jiangnan's poor acting skills. So he said curiously, if Yumiko Miura was strong enough and didn't cry, but continued to provoke you arrogantly, what would you do? Jiangnan smiled lightly and pointed to the sky with one hand. When I reached the top, I found that I was always alone. No one talked to me. The lonely winter made me shiver. What on earth was I trying to do at the top? It was really pretentious. What a pity. Yumiko Miura cried. If Jiangnan did this again, it would be too much. Don't worry, Miura probably won't come again in the future. Okay, it's almost enough rest, and you can continue training. Even after a battle, Jiangnan still didn't look tired at all. Even his clothes were clean. This is another gap. You know, before the match with Yumiko Miura, Jiangnan accompanied Totsuka Reika for a long time. Totsuka Reika ran over at this time. Jiangnan, you are so awesome. Your tennis skills are really great. Totsuka Reika had a happy smile on her face. Flowers seemed to appear around, emitting light. A cute boy with his own background. Gentle little angel. Jiangnan felt that his eyes were blurry, as if he had just seen a flower special effect. Damn, such a cute child is really a foul. The problem is that she is so gentle. No wonder Leo Bei almost became gay. If Totsuka Reika was a girl, Jiangnan said in a low voice. Totsuka Reika excitedly grabbed Jiangnan's hand. Jiangnan, join the tennis club. With your ability, you will definitely lead the tennis club to become the strongest club. Totsuka Reika's eyes seemed to be shining with stars, a kind of starlight called expectation. Jiangnan turned his head instantly and thought in his heart, damn, who can refuse this? Leo Bei, you are turned gay. I don't blame you. Ahem. Yukinoshita Yukino coughed twice, interrupting the development of this youth love comedy. Then he said lightly, Totsuka-san, it's training time now. The noon training ended quickly. This time Jiangnan was free. Perhaps realizing that the gap was too big, this time Yukinoshita Yukino personally went on the court to train. Kato Kito's tennis skills were only average, and his physical strength was also average, so he couldn't help. As time passed, Totsuka Reika also completed all the training. The commission was naturally completed. The service club once again returned to its normal state. On this day of school, Hikigaya Hachiman was directly called out and went to the office after class. The reason was naturally the expectation survey form he handed in, which was just like the essays he wrote before, with all kinds of explosions and all kinds of alternative personalities. This time only he was called. Hikigaya Hachiman looked at Jiangnan in disbelief. Jiangnan, how is it possible? How can you be fine? You clearly wrote so. Jiangnan had a smile on his face, as if he had succeeded in his conspiracy, and pulled out the expectation survey form he had written from the drawer. You didn't expect it. Leobei, I didn't hand it in at all. Leobei, this time you will face the quiet annihilation Iron Fist alone. Have a good journey. Hikigaya Hachiman looked shocked. You plotted against me. Jiangnan covered his face with one hand. Ha ha ha. Obviously you are too stupid. You actually dared to write like that. Your expectation is to be a otaku and stay at home. You even cited the example of a cute little girl who said, my future wish is to be a bride. I have seen your future. Old date. Kato Megumi looked at the two noisy people speechlessly. The expectation report she handed in was actually very standard. It was the kind that no one would care about even if it was put at the front. This fits his personality very well. At this moment, Hiratsuka Shizuka walked into the class from the back door and saw the expectation survey form that Jiangnan was holding in his hand and had not yet handed in. Hiratsuka Shizuka, thank you for the award from Jian Mingjin. Thank you for the award from ZHEI. Chapter 41, The Pot King's Disaster. A boring day has ended. At this moment, the chat box vibrates. Someone has tagged the group owner. In the chat group, Namikaze Minato, is the group leader here? I'm ready to take action. Danzo deserves to die. Mingfei, remember to start the live broadcast. Half of the bad things in the Naruto world are done by this guy. Why will Konoha be so weak in the future? Geniuses either don't die or escape. It's inseparable from this guy. If he had died earlier, there wouldn't be so many bad things in the ninja world. Namikaze Minato, he really should be killed. Recently, I have been trying to win over the Uchiha clan, but all kinds of public opinions have emerged. If I hadn't used the power of the Hokage to suppress them, the conflict between the Uchiha clan and the villagers might have intensified again. I searched for a long time, but couldn't find where the public opinions appeared. It seems that these public opinions appeared suddenly. Namikaze Minato, I think the only one who can do such a thing as the root who is not under the control of the Konoha Hokage. It's damn right. Mingfei, 4th Hokage, you have only been in power for less than a year, and the other party is trying to stop you and trip you up. It is obvious that they want to deal with you. Don't be scared. Confront you head on. At Tsujikoku Yoriichi, this kind of enemy is the most troublesome. If we let him escape by mistake, it will inevitably leave endless disasters, so he must die. It is best to call the group leader. Group leader Jiangnan, the group leader is here. Group leader Jiangnan, who is ready to take action. Namikaze Minato, group leader, I'm ready to take action. It is time to remove the rotten roots of Konoha. Group leader Jiangnan, it should have been taken a long time ago. How about I do it? Namikaze Minato, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. There is no need to trouble the group leader to take action. The group leader just needs to make sure that Danzo escapes. Mingfei, if the group leader takes action, I guess that will happen. Last time, 3 sons were destroyed. This time it's in danger. It's better for the Ondane to do it himself. Saitama, come on. People like Danzo are really bad, even worse than monsters. Group leader Jiangnan, it's a pity that we can't do it ourselves. I originally wanted to send Danzo a Pluto travel package, the Suncore cremation service, and by the way, experience Diablo's infinite death cycle. Mingfei, the group leader is awesome. The group leader is mighty. Who dares to offend the group leader? Mingfei, will be the first to go. Group leader Xiao Yan, come on, stop flattering. Namikaze Minato, solving Danzo means dealing with the problem of the root. Although they are all brainwashed warriors, they are also Konoha's ninjas. Group leader Xiao Yan, by the way, what time is it where you are? I remember Naruto's birthday should be October 10th, which means that the Ninetales Rebellion started on October 10th. Namikaze Minato, Konoha 48, September 20th. Group leader Xiao Yan, there are still 20 days. Well, it's not bad, but the time for skipping classes is a bit long. Mingfei, the final battle. Remember to start the live broadcast when the time comes. Namikaze Minato, no problem. Namikaze Minato agrees to let group leader Xiao Yan enter his world. In Naruto, in addition to the open Genin, Chunin, Jonin and Cage, each village also has a special force called Assassination Tactics. Their main function is to protect the cage and prevent enemy invasion, and they are an indispensable part of the village. However, in Konoha, the leader of the 5 major ninja villages, this force is divided into 2 independent existences, the Anbu and the Root. The Root is more hidden than the Anbu, and what it does is more shady. It has existed for a long time, because of the tacit approval of the 3rd generation Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Danzo and the Root have become the most direct and effective swords of Konoha, eradicating all threats inside and outside the village with the attitude of rather kill by mistake than let go. At the same time, the ninjas of the Root are more like Danzo's private soldiers than Konoha's ninjas. They are his greatest guarantee for competing for the position of Hokage. Unfortunately, he didn't really take the position of Hokage in the end. He was killed by Sasuke after just acting for a few days. He is called 5.5 Hokage in the world. Night. Minato Namikaze's private residence. A dark hole appeared. Xiao Yan, wearing sportswear, walked out of the space hole. The 4th Hokage had a warm smile on his face. Welcome to my world, group leader. Xiao Yan looked around, surrounded by familiar architectural styles, some ancient style. This is Konoha Village. I'm here. When do you want to start? Tonight. It was a dark and windy night for murder. The 4th Hokage has been patient for a long time. If he doesn't take action, the plan to win over the Uchiha clan will fail. As a Hokage, he has no power at hand and can only be manipulated by others. He has no useful people at hand, and when trouble comes, he will have to do it himself. Just like the original self. This time Minato Namikaze will not let his wife die again, and will not let his children have that unfortunate childhood again. This time I will save everything. Xiao Yan saw the determination in Minato Namikaze's eyes. A good Hokage and a good father. He couldn't be a good father before, but this time he had a choice. I understand. Xiao Yan nodded seriously. The roots of Konoha are hidden very deeply. The darkness of Konoha is also very dark. But the 4th Hokage knows where the roots are. This day has been planned for a long time. Danzo is at the roots on this day. This time, Minato Namikaze's plan is very simple. To kill Danzo and incorporate the roots into his own power. Orochimaru should cooperate with Danzo at this time, and if possible, even Orochimaru will be incorporated. Without the obstruction of the roots, the 4th Hokage can win over the Uchiha clan with his identity as Hokage. Then find a way to ease the conflict between the Uchiha clan and the villagers. Then pull the Uchiha clan out of the corner. Then there are other families in Konoha. The Hyuga clan, the Yamanaka clan, and the Inoshika clan. And there is the Enbu in the hands of the 3rd Hokage. If the 3rd Hokage gives it to him honestly, then let him take care of himself in his old age. If not, the 4th Hokage can only use some drastic measures. As the direct subordinate of the Hokage cannot be mobilized. What a ridiculous thing. There is also the elders of Konoha's high level, a group of old people. It's time to retire. The 4th Hokage has not been idle during this period, but has been thinking about the current situation of Konoha village. If Konoha wants to shine again, it will need a major blood transfusion to get rid of all the rotten things. Namikaze Minato bought a lot of books about the development of modern society and them all of the chat group. If everything goes well, Namikaze Minato can turn the Uchiha clan into a modern police station. A police station that is trusted and protects the masses. At that time, the people trust Uchiha, and Uchiha has a sense of responsibility, honor and belonging. Then they will be loyal to Konoha village. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 42, Night and Roots. An uninvited guest came to the root of Konoha, the fourth Hokage. Theoretically, the root was not under the control of the Hokage. But now the fourth Hokage Minato Namikaze wanted to take charge. Let Danzo come to see me. The fourth Hokage no longer had a smile on his face. After all, he was here to kill people. The members of the root looked at each other, and a member of the root wearing a fox mask spoke up. Please wait, Hokage-sama. Minato Namikaze narrowed his eyes and came in front of him in an instant. Do you have the qualifications to let me wait? Bang! The root ninja wearing a fox mask hit the wall directly. Minato walked directly through the gate of the root. As soon as he walked into the gate, Danzo, with a bandage on his right hand, walked over. What are you doing here, Hokage, at my root? The fourth Hokage asked directly. You are the ones who spread the rumors in the village recently. Don't pretend. If there is no solid evidence, I won't find this place. Danzo narrowed his only remaining eye. Hokage-sama, the Uchiha clan is very dangerous. During the reign of the second generation. Shut up, you are teaching me how to do things. Now I'm the Hokage. Namikaze Minato said coldly, his tone was very aggressive. Danzo did not expect that the Hokage, who was usually very gentle, even a little too gentle, would say such a fiery word. It shouldn't be. It's just spreading some rumors, and it shouldn't have touched the Hokage's greatest interests. Fourth generation, please pay attention. This is the root. It is not under the control of the Hokage. Danzo did not show any weakness, and many root ninjas wearing animal masks emerged from the shadows around him. It seems that it has been confirmed. I want to ease the conflict between the Uchiha clan and the villagers. It is indeed you who is interfering. Although it was just a casual chat, it was actually a long time ago. The mark of the flying thunder god moved slowly and now it has come to Danzo's feet. Yellow flash, one hit kill. These are all rich combat experience. Namikaze Minato knew that Danzo had an arm made of Hashirama cells, and a Sharingan was transplanted on his arm. Once he used the Uchiha clan's forbidden technique Izenergy, one Sharingan was equal to one life. Although he was not defeated, it was very troublesome. In the fight between life and death, what matters is speed, accuracy, and ruthlessness. And there is no doubt that Minato is the fastest one. As long as the special moves and secret techniques cannot be released, they are equivalent to nothing. He will not give Danzo the opportunity to cast Izenergy. The next moment, the fourth Hokage disappeared. When he appeared again, he was behind Danzo, and the three-bladed kunai in his hand quickly passed by, directly at Danzo's throat, ready to kill him with one blow. It was too fast, and everyone only saw a golden figure. At this critical moment, a root ninja stood in front of Danzo, and blocked the fatal blow. Danzo knew that the fourth Hokage was the fastest man, so how could he not be on guard? He also knew his own weaknesses, and needed time to launch his strongest technique. When Danzo went to attend the 5-Cage conference, he brought 2 followers with him. This was to delay himself and give himself time to perform the forbidden technique Izanaki, wind style, vacuum wave. Danzo quickly formed seals with both hands, and a circular spiral wind blade instantly spit out from his mouth. The embu blocking Danzo was instantly split into 2. Namikaze Minato flicked the kunai in his hand and appeared next to the kunai again. The wind-style vacuum wave flew backwards, leaving a deep scratch on the high wall behind. The fourth Hokage was not discouraged by the lack of a one-hit kill of Danzo. After all, an old bastard like Danzo cherishes his life very much. Fourth Hokage, what do you mean? Danzo's eyes were full of murderous intent. Namikaze Minato said coldly, of course I'll take your life. At this time, a man was sitting on the stone pillar of the root base, holding a bucket full of popcorn in his hand, as if he was watching a good show. Jiang Man was swinging his thighs in boredom. His mission is to stop Danzo from escaping. If Danzo doesn't run, he can't take action, and can only watch. It would be much better to use my method. First, take a trip to Pluto, and then be cremated directly in the center of the sun after death, and then experience the infinite death reincarnation of the big boss Diablo. It's arranged perfectly, and at the end, the memory is pulled out, and then it is played countless times on the big screen of the ninja world. What a good way to die. Jiang Nan said softly. It's a pity that the 4th generation wants to send him to see the 6 paths personally. There are more than one uninvited guests in the dark. In the darkness where no one noticed, Uchiha Fugaku was standing quietly. The Mangekyo Sharingan stared at the whole scene coldly. He was a strong man pulled by the 4th generation Hokage. He didn't have to take action or not, but he needed to witness something. Uchiha Fugaku seemed to have noticed that the conflict between the Uchiha clan and the villagers in the village had intensified recently, so he agreed to the 4th generation Hokage. As for what he wanted to witness, it was naturally the Sharingan on Danzo's arm. I believe that no Uchiha can stand it. When the second pillar saw it, he almost exploded with anger. Jiang Nan turned his head and looked at Uchiha Fugaku in the dark. Theoretically, the strength of opening the Mangekyo Sharingan can reach the level of Kage. Uchiha Fugaku is also a rare Kage level combat force in Konoha village. Unfortunately, he did not resist in the end and was killed by Itachi. Alas, the gentle and cheerful boy has also learned bad things. This is actually the strategy of the 4th Hokage, to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. The first bird is Danzo's life. To Kage level people take action, Golden Flash, and the leader of the Uchiha clan. Any one of these 2 people can defeat Danzo, let alone join forces. The second bird is to win over. Once the 2 people take action together, they are like grasshoppers on the same boat. Why would a murderer require his companions to have lives on their hands? It's just to be tied to the same boat. The third bird is power. Once the head of the Uchiha clan stands on his side, it will be easy. Although the Uchiha clan also has different factions, the head of the Uchiha clan can suppress all factions. As long as both sides operate secretly, it is not easy to win over the Uchiha clan. The authorities are confused, but the bystanders are clear. As a bystander, Jiang Nan saw through all the plans of the 4th Hokage at a glance. Politics really makes a person change. The 4th Hokage was very simple before. The group members and other chat groups also projected over at this time. They all came to watch the live broadcast. Looking at the battle at the beginning below, Mingfei said with regret. It seems that I'm late. The battle has already begun. Jiang Nan said lightly. At the beginning, watch carefully. Let you see what the battle of the old thieves with extremely rich combat experience is. Mingfei smiled disdainfully, and the online keyboard warrior replied for advice. Naruto, there are some differences in the settings of the animation and comics. In the anime, Uchiha Fugaku opened the Mangekyo Sharingan, and Shisu opened Susanoo with his single eye. This is not my fault. Blame Danzo if you want to. Just put the blame on him. Chapter 43. Netizens discuss heroes over wine. Mingfei said without any fear on his face. Looking at Danzo's life, he is fierce on the outside, but weak on the inside, good at making plans but indecisive. He cherishes his body when doing great things, and forgets his life when he sees small profits. Jiang Nan was a little speechless. You are here to discuss heroes over a glass of wine. Saitama scratched his head. They keep dodging. Mingfei smiled confidently. I have seen the final winner of this battle. I have 10 defeats for Danzo and 10 wins for Minato. You and Xiao, just report my ID number. Jiang Nan looked at Mingfei's phantom. In reality, I'm submissive, but in the internet, I strike hard. If you have the guts, teleport over here and tell Danzo directly. He will definitely kill you. Although Danzo is a weakling, he is still a Kage level strength. I can kill Danzo in a snap of my fingers. Wait for me half a year. No, wait for me 3 years. Don't look down on the poor young man. Danzo is just a clown. 3 years. I'm afraid the grass on Danzo's grave will be very tall. Mingfei continued. As the leader of the root, he is too obsessed with power. The biggest problem of Danzo is that as a leader of the root, he has not eliminated any external factors that threaten the village, or he has regarded them as opportunities to turn the tables. This is the power of the online keyboard warrior. I can point out the world through the screen. Jiang Nan was shocked. Whose general is this? Whose general is this? This seems to be my general. Mingfei was not ashamed to point out the world like this, but was very happy. You know, this guy once used questions to pretend to be a girl to seduce his younger brother in order to trick him. What's the name of the engraving under the sunset? He often sends some inexplicable quotes and then sends messages when his younger brother, the plump fat man Lumings, is taking piano lessons. He made his brother sad. Tsujikoku Yoshiichi didn't seem to expect Mingfei to be so good. He looked at the battle below and said, they are all very strong. I watched Naruto before. Danzo's life was basically chasing the position of Hokage. He did everything he could for it, but in the end, Mingfei looked at Danzo who was about to remove the bandage on his arm with contempt. Just a jumping clown. There are 8 pots in the world, and Danzo has only 1 stone. He owes 2 pots since ancient times. Jiangnan looked at Mingfei. You are arrogant now, and when your brother who cheats you, you will not be arrogant anymore. Namikaze Minato's previous words were not only for Danzo to hear, but also to tell Uchiha Fugaku who has been targeting the Uchiha clan. If he doesn't die, he will continue to target it. There is only a thief for 1,000 days. How can there be 1,000 days to guard against thieves? Why the Uchiha clan will be exterminated in the future is basically Danzo's fault. After realizing that what happened in the village recently was all manipulated by Danzo behind the scenes, Uchiha Fugaku wanted to kill him, but considering the current situation of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Fugaku still hesitated. Uchiha Fugaku has good talents and strength, but he is too hesitant in doing things. Hesitation will lead to failure, and in the end, the Uchiha clan was defeated. If Uchiha Fugaku still hesitated at this time, he would not hesitate next time. The surrounding root ninjas were no match for Minato Namikaze, and they couldn't even touch Minato Namikaze. The fastest man is not just a title. Minato wanted to kill Danzo. Danzo actually wanted to kill Minato. Of course, he wanted the position of Hokage. I still remember that Sarutobi Hiruzen patted his shoulder and said, the big tree of Konoha cannot be without roots. When I'm old and retired, the position of Hokage will be given to you. As a result, Danzo did too many bad things, and coupled with the confidentiality of the root, basically no one knew what contribution Danzo had made to Konoha. Therefore, no one supported Danzo. The position of Hokage naturally fell into the hands of Minato Namikaze, who shone in the Third World War. Handsome, gentle, strong, smart, and caring for his companions. Minato Namikaze satisfied countless people's imagination of a strong man. This position of Hokage should have belonged to me. As long as you die, the 5th Hokage will definitely be mine. Danzo's eyes flashed with a gleam of brilliance, and he was ready to use his ultimate move. He must kill Minato Namikaze. Unfortunately, he would never have expected that his old friend, the 3rd Hokage, was unwilling to give up power. The 4th Hokage died, and Konoha village not only did not select the 5th Hokage, but the 3rd Hokage controlled Konoha village for more than 10 years. The taste of power is really fascinating. Looking at Danzo's crazy appearance, how could Minato Namikaze not know his little thoughts? Are you really so obsessed with power and politics? What do you know? For the position of Hokage, I'm willing to become the darkness of Konoha and do the dirtiest and most tiring work for Konoha, but no one knows my contribution. I, Danzo, am the hero of Konoha. Jiangnan was speechless. A jumping clown actually regarded himself as a hero. Without his crazy troubles, Konoha White Fang would not die. Konoha's strongest family, the Uchiha clan, would not be destroyed. Konoha's 3 ninjas would not run away, and Pain would not be able to invade Konoha in the future. That's right, everything is Danzo's fault. By the way, it was this guy who alienated the relationship between Akatsuki and the Hidden Rain village. It led to Yahiko's tragic death and Nagato's blackening. Akatsuki directly became a violent nuclear bomb collection organization, and finally the Ten Tails was resurrected, and the entire ninja world was almost destroyed. That's right, everything is Danzo's fault. Danzo slowly untied the white cloth wrapped around his right arm, revealing his secret. Even though he had seen it before, Namikaze Minato couldn't help but frown. Danzo's arm is indeed challenging the limits of human psychology. The white arm is full of wrinkles, and one after another Sharingan is densely embedded on the arm. From time to time, it is still turning and looking around, obviously alive. What did you do? The Uchiha clan is a member of the village. Namikaze Minato said coldly. Danzo had no scruples. After all, his arm was exposed. The so-called Uchiha is just a group of evil beings. Konoha will be better without them. Sharingan is not an ordinary thing. If it is not used by the Uchiha clan, it will consume a lot of mana, and it can't be turned off. It must be turned on all the time. Take Kakashi, the son of White Fang, a genius who became a 12-year-old ninja, created his own S-level ninjutsu Reikari, the future 6th Hokage, has first-class combat ability, and can be the captain of a team on the battlefield. It is such a genius that became weak after transplanting the leading Sharingan. All day long, I have no chakra, I can't do it, I have used up all my chakra. Although it is also due to self-abandonment, it also indirectly shows that the Sharingan is really not suitable for outsiders to use. Uchiha Fugaku's main Jiki Sharingan has a very terrifying illusion. In the anime Memory of the Night of Genocide, it directly suppressed Uchiha Itachi's main Jiki Sharingan, allowing him to see the truth of the Night of the Nine-Tailed Fox. The other eye is suspected to have the ability to predict the future. Chapter 44. Everyone is showing off. One Sharingan consumes so much mana, not to mention these densely packed Sharingans. If it weren't for the pressure of Hashirama cells, Danzo would be blown to pieces, even if he had the chakra of the cage level. Since the death of the second Hokage in the First World War, with the tacit approval of the third Hokage, Danzo began to study Hashirama cells and even transplanted Hashirama cells. A total of 5 Sharingans. Namikaze Minato was ready. When Sasuke kills Danzo in the future, Danzo already has 11 Sharingans, and his right eye is even a Katamatsukami that can change other people's will. But at this time, Danzo has not yet obtained Shisu's eyes, and this arm is not the arm that can be inlaid with 10 Sharingans in the future. You must know that Hashirama cells and Sharingans must reach a certain balance to not cause harm to the host. Obviously, Orochimaru has not yet done enough research at this time. Probably a few years later, when the Uchiha clan is exterminated, the arm inlaid with 10 Sharingans will appear. Then replace Danzo's current arm, and Danzo's strength will become stronger. Upgrade and replace. Version change. The current arm can only be regarded as 1.0, and it can be upgraded to 2.0 when there are enough Sharingan. Since you have seen my secret, the 4th Hokage will stay. Danzo stretched out his hand to prepare for the seal. The 3 Magatama Sharingan on the back of his hand was still turning from time to time. The moment Danzo put his hands together, or 3-bladed kunai was thrown over. The surrounding root ninjas drew their weapons, ready to deal with the sudden attack of Minato Namikaze at any time. However, Minato Namikaze just smiled, as if his conspiracy had succeeded. In the dark, a pair of blood-red eyes stared at Danzo's arm with 5 eyes. In the 48th year of Konoha, the Third Ninja World War had just ended. The Uchiha clan paid too much in the war, and too many people died. In order to protect Konoha, many young masters of the Uchiha clan died, and some even died without a complete body, not even a slag left. Now that Uchiha Fugaku saw Danzo's arm, he finally understood some very strange phenomena of the Uchiha clan during the war. Why did those geniuses of his clan always disappear inexplicably? They were all geniuses who had opened the 3 Magatama, and they were all Jonin in the village. There were also some Uchiha clan members who had opened the 3 Magatama, who participated in the Third Ninja World War, and disappeared from the world, and finally could only be treated as dead in the war. It turned out that someone stabbed him in the back, and it was his own people. The eyes of the surrounding root ninjas suddenly flickered, and all fell to the ground. It was obviously an illusion, and it was a very powerful illusion. More than a dozen root ninjas were knocked down in an instant, and there was no shortage of Jonin level ninjas among them. The opponent was at least a cage level strongman. What? The sudden change made Danzo slightly stunned. This tiny flaw was a fatal flaw in the eyes of the fastest man, Minato Namikaze. A golden figure flashed by. Before Danzo could react, a cold light flashed by. His shoulders and lower waist were cut in half. Blood splattered everywhere. Many organs were cut by the 3-bladed kunai, including the most important part of the human body, the heart. The next second, the yellow figure in front of Danzo disappeared. Not a drop of blood was stuck to the 4th Hokage. As expected of Zia, killing a cage level strongman, there was no blood on his body, still so clean and handsome. How could I, Danzo, die here? Danzo wanted to speak, but when he opened his mouth, all that came out was blood. Then the whole person fell backwards and fell heavily to the ground. Death is approaching. Danzo saw his life. This is a revolving lantern before death. It seems that everyone will experience it. The fourth Hokage looked at Danzo, who was breathing weakly. There is no need to do it anymore. Without launching the forbidden technique Izanami, Danzo will only have one life. Now he doesn't even have the strength to do it. As time goes by, Danzo's vitality will gradually disappear. Although you have fallen into darkness now, it is undeniable that you were once a hero of Konoha. Under the leadership of the second Hokage, you repelled many enemies that invaded Konoha. Just die like this. At least no one will know what you did. The fourth Hokage looked at Danzo, who was about to die, calmly. This kind of injury could not be recovered even if Tsunade came. The next step is to deal with the root. After Danzo died, the root would be incorporated. Jiangnan watched this scene calmly from a high place. The fourth Hokage made a mistake. A serious mistake. That is, he didn't finish the attack. I guess he hasn't finished reading the book How to Become a Sixth in Command, which introduces all kinds of cowardly kings in the heavens and the worlds, the cautious brave, the savior Han Xianzhen, the center-way dragon Li Changshao, the great love immortal. If any of these sixth in commands were here, Danzo would definitely leave nothing behind, and his ashes would be scattered for you, and then he would clear himself of all charges. If the great love immortal was here, he would probably frame the third Hokage for Danzo's death. Namikaze Minato was still a little soft-hearted after all. Although Danzo did a lot of bad things, he was also a member of Konoha, a high-ranking member of Konoha. Namikaze Minato didn't want to do things so ruthlessly. Just die like this. In the darkness, Uchiha Fugaku, wearing a Jonin uniform, walked out of the darkness. The pair of Mangekyou Sharingan stared at Danzo's right arm. It's damned. How could he do this? The Uchiha clan is also a member of Konoha. How could he treat his companions like this? The Uchiha clan is also known as the clan of love. When the emotions in the heart accumulate to a certain level, a special chakra will form in the brain. This chakra will awaken the Sharingan and continue to evolve the Sharingan. It's a pity that the current Uchiha Fugaku has reached the top of the Sharingan. Mangekyou Sharingan. If you want to evolve into the eternal Mangekyou Sharingan, you need to change your eyes. Sorry, Fugaku, I will take care of this matter. Namikaze Minato said very seriously. I understand, fourth Hokage, you brought me here and let me see these things, which means you trust me. From now on, Uchiha will stand behind you and support you unconditionally. At this moment, the two are accomplices. Namikaze Minato is the main culprit, and Uchiha Fugaku is an accomplice. Well, I will mediate the relationship between the Uchiha clan and the villagers. I believe that without Danzo's obstruction, the village and the Uchiha clan will get along more harmoniously. The Uchiha clan is also a member of the village. Uchiha Fugaku nodded. With the promise of the Hokage, his burden was finally lightened. In fact, Namikaze Minato already had a rough plan. The reason why the Uchiha clan was excluded was largely due to misunderstandings and rumors, as well as suppression by the top leaders. Another reason was that the Uchiha clan's Konoha police force used more drastic means when doing things. This led to many villagers having a bad impression of the Uchiha. At this time, it is necessary to make law enforcement transparent and open. Let every villager truly understand the Konoha Guard Department, and even after reaching a certain level, they can visit the Konoha Guard Department. These are all summed up by Namikaze Minato. Based on some rules and regulations in modern society, the police and the people are one family. Only by understanding each other can we tolerate each other. Thank you for the award of standing on the corner to watch childhood. Thank you for the award of Jian Mingchen, and thank you for the award of Xingzai brother. Chapter 45. Only Danzo is getting beaten. In a corner that no one noticed, a small white snake was swimming slowly. Then it came to Danzo. The small snake head was spitting out its tongue. Very cute. At this time, Danzo was breathing out more than breathing in. It was estimated that he would be dead in half a minute. The little white snake was very smart, and the red snake eyes like gems seemed to have human emotions. It was laughing at Danzo. The leader of the root was now lying on the ground in a mess, and then died. How sad. Orochimaru. Danzo recognized the little snake. It was Orochimaru's summoning beast. These summoning beasts were Orochimaru's spies. Help. Orochimaru and Danzo had actually been cooperating. In order to study immortality, Orochimaru needed to conduct human experiments, do some inhumane things, and the cost of experimental equipment was also a large amount. It was difficult for Orochimaru to fulfill his dream of immortality in Konoha. Later, Danzo found Orochimaru and took a fancy to his ability. The root is the darkness of Konoha, doing all kinds of bad things. The two hit it off and started doing human experiments, including studying Hashirama cells. They also cloned a wood-release ninja Yamato through Hashirama cells. But the wood-release that Yamato possesses cannot be compared with the first generation. Danzo's Hashirama cell arm full of Sharingan was made by Orochimaru. The little white snake came to Danzo's neck. Orochimaru hid in the distance and smiled. To cage-level strongman, the Hokage of Konoha village, the leader of the Uchiha clan, I dare not do anything, but as a collaborator. Danzo, if you die like this, I will have a headache, but if you really want to die, just die as my experimental material. The latest curse seal I made is a fairy technique. The two are collaborators, but when it comes to stabbing, they are not soft-hearted. As long as there is benefit, they will cooperate. As long as there is benefit, they will betray at any time and stab at any time. Orochimaru had long seen through Danzo's shameless character. He could foresee that this cooperation would not last long, and he would probably be pushed out by Danzo to take all the blame. So now that he was stabbed in the back, Orochimaru had no hesitation at all. And Orochimaru really wanted to know how effective the curse seal he had just made would be against a cage-level strongman. This was related to his pursuit of immortality. Experiments require data, and this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The little snake opened its mouth and bit directly on Danzo's neck. Then it injected the power of the curse seal into it. This was the power of immortality. This power gave Danzo, who was about to die, a little ability to move. Danzo immediately formed seals with both hands. With such a serious injury, there was only one way to survive. Forbidden technique, Izanagi. Izanagi is the ultimate eye technique of the Uchiha clan. Sharingan owners can activate Izanagi by forming the three seals of Mao, Hei, and Wei. The Sharingan holder can use Izanagi to turn the unfavorable things that happen to him within a period of time into nothing, and only choose the things that are beneficial to him into reality. The activation time varies according to each person's ability, but the Sharingan cast, after using it, will inevitably be blinded, which is dangerous. During the activation time, even if you die, you can change reality. It is a terrifying eye technique that can make you invincible. In the original work, Shimura Danzo transplanted up to 10 Sharingans on his right arm. Every time a Sharingan is used, Izanagi can be activated for 1 minute. That is, Danzo has 10 minutes of invincibility. Danzo was killed by Sasuke Susanoo many times, and he used Izanagi to invalidate death. It seems that something abnormal has been detected. Namikaze Minato turned his head to look at Danzo's body on the ground. The dead Danzo made seals with his hands, and the blood stained the ground red. A small snake jumped out of Danzo's body and flew away quickly. Orochimaru? Namikaze Minato instantly noticed something was wrong and seemed to have thought of something. His face turned very ugly. I didn't expect Orochimaru to show up at this time. Uchiha Fugaku frowned, and he looked at Danzo's body on the ground. The Sharingan on the back of the corpse's hand was slowly closing. Soon Uchiha Fugaku's pupils trembled, and he finally realized what was wrong. Izanagi? The closed Sharingan, the last seal, and the expression on Danzo's face at the end, without any pain. There was no mistake. Uchiha Fugaku recognized this technique. It was the forbidden technique of his family. One eye is lost every time it is used. The Uchiha clan only has 2 eyes. If this forbidden technique is used twice, the person will go blind. Even Uchiha Fugaku would not use this technique unless he was really going to die. At this moment, Uchiha Fugaku finally understood why Danzo had so many Sharingans on his arm, and why he didn't put them in his eyes, but on his arm. Because these Sharingans are consumables, they are thrown away after use. It also shows that the Uchiha clan is also consumable. You must die, Danzo. Uchiha Fugaku is not like the second pillar who knows nothing from childhood to adulthood. As the head of the Uchiha clan, he has the right to look through all the information of the Uchiha clan. The same is true for the secrets of the Uchiha clan. As the head of the family for more than 10 years, Uchiha Fugaku knows a lot of things. It is precisely because of this that he hid the fact that he opened the Mangekyou Sharingan. But this time is different. If Danzo is not killed here, Uchiha Fugaku will immediately take the Uchiha clan away from Konoha after returning. If not for anything else, just to survive. They are all regarded as consumables. If they don't run away, the clan will be exterminated. In addition to Danzo's personality, Uchiha Fugaku really has no choice. Try the power of my other eye. Uchiha Fugaku was serious, and countless pictures flashed in his pupils. That was the picture of the future. Uchiha Fugaku's Mangekyou Sharingan has the ability to see the future, but only a brief future can be seen. There. Fire-style Great Fireball Jutsu. Uchiha Fugaku quickly formed seals with both hands, and a huge fireball came out of his mouth, then flew far away and exploded. A figure rushed out from the flames. It was Danzo. At this time, Danzo had no injuries, except that his clothes were slightly burned by the flames. The fatal wound left on him by the fourth Hokage seemed to have never existed. Wind style, vacuum wave. Wind style, vacuum ball. Danzo quickly formed seals with both hands and exhaled a large breath from his mouth. Vacuum wave will release several sickle-like air blades, which can not only cut off the opponent's flesh, but also cut off the opponent's chakra. Vacuum ball is to shoot out the chakra accumulated in the mouth like bullets when exhaling. This technique can continuously exhale short breaths, just like a machine gun, firing continuously, beating the opponent into a honeycomb. These two ninjutsu are B-level ninjutsu, and are also Danzo's signature ninjutsu. He has already mastered the use of them. Chapter 46, Kyune Stab Susanoo. Uchiha Fugaku's Sharingan has very powerful dynamic and static vision, and can even see through the opponent's moves. At the moment, when Danzo's attack fell, a black skeleton appeared around Uchiha Fugaku's body. Susanoo. This is a very powerful light technique that can only be used when the Mangekyou Sharingan is opened. The eye technique Susanoo has extremely strong defense and attack power. Ordinary ninjutsu can't break Susanoo's defense at all. On the other side, the fourth Hokage threw the three-bladed kunai in his hand, and the person disappeared the moment the attack fell. The strong wind raised a puff of smoke. Danzo's body moved quickly, passed through the smoke, and came in front of Uchiha Fugaku. Uchiha Fugaku thought Danzo had some powerful moves, and immediately used Susanoo to protect his whole body. The next second, Danzo took out the kunai and stabbed it directly at Susanoo. Uchiha Fugaku, what are you playing with? As expected, the kunai broke directly. The broken blade flew several meters. Danzo looked at the half-finished kunai in his hand in confusion. Uchiha Fugaku would not miss this opportunity, and a skeleton hand instantly grabbed Danzo. The terrifying force directly crushed Danzo's body, but because of Izanagi, Danzo appeared intact not far from Uchiha Fugaku. But as soon as he appeared, all three-bladed kunai appeared under his feet. The fastest and most showy man is here. The next moment, Namikaze Minato appeared, and the Rasengan in his right hand was spinning wildly. Bang! The Rasengan was directly pressed on Danzo's body by Namikaze Minato. The terrifying spiral force drove Danzo to fly far away, and finally left a huge deep pit on the high wall of the base. The combination of two cage-level strongmen is not something Danzo can handle now. So Danzo chose to escape. If you can't beat them, run away. Danzo is very careful about his life. Danzo's body in the deep pit slowly disappeared. An intact Danzo appeared next to him. Wind escape breakthrough. Danzo quickly formed a seal, and a violent storm arose, raising a puff of smoke. Taking advantage of the smoke, Danzo turned and ran. This was his route base, and he was most familiar with it. He knew many secret passages and dark paths like the back of his hand. Danzo was confident that he could get rid of Uchiha Fugaku and Namikaze Minato here, but he still underestimated Namikaze Minato's speed. Or three-bladed kunai fell from the sky and was inserted in front of Danzo's path. A yellow figure flashed, and Namikaze Minato appeared, and Uchiha Fugaku also chased after him. The pair of Mangekyou Sharingan stared at Danzo. There were wolves in front and tigers behind, and it was impossible to run. It seems that we have to be serious. At this time, 3 of the 5 eyes in Danzo's hand were closed. If all the eyes were closed, then the balance between the Sharingan and Hashirama cells would be broken. His arm would be useless. Wind style, vacuum great ball. Formed a seal. A high pressure wind ball blew out of Danzo's mouth. This was the enhanced version of the vacuum ball. If the vacuum ball was a machine gun, then the vacuum ball was like a rocket launcher. It could smash the enemy to pieces in an instant, with amazing power. Danzo's target was Minato Namikaze. Minato Namikaze's movement speed was too fast, and it was too difficult to escape from him. Minato Namikaze threw out the 3-bladed kunai in his hand. Shuriken Shadow Clone Technique. This was a ninjutsu created by the 3rd generation Hokage inspired by the Shadow Clone Technique developed by the 2nd generation Hokage. After throwing a shuriken forward, the shuriken transformed into countless shadow clones for continuous attacks. Hundreds of kunai almost completely covered the place where Danzo was standing. The vacuum ball blasted away some of the kunai and rushed towards Minato Namikaze. Just when it was about to touch Minato Namikaze disappeared on the spot. Flying Thunder God 2nd stage. Countless kunai flew in the air, moving quickly, and Danzo could not predict Minato Namikaze's next move at all. The 2nd stage of Flying Thunder God has evolved from moving fixed coordinates to teleporting a moving target. The caster throws a kunai with the Flying Thunder God spell at the enemy, then instantly moves to the position of the spell kunai and attacks the opponent with the kunai. This is the 2nd stage of Flying Thunder God. The Shuriken Shadow Clone Technique, combined with the 2nd stage of Flying Thunder God, can be said to be unstoppable. Looking at the densely packed kunai flying over, would release, burst gun tree. Huge trees soared into the sky, and Danzo hid behind the trees to avoid the flying kunai. A kunai brushed the edge of the tree and flew into the distance. But before it flew far, it was grabbed by a hand. The person was the teleported Minato Namikaze. A Rasengan has condensed on Minato Namikaze's right hand. It is twice as big as a normal Rasengan. Big Ball Rasengan. The moment he sensed danger, Danzo once again formed seals with both hands. Would release, root burial. Danzo's right hand instantly pulled out of the tree and then began to explode and turn into countless vines and trees. This kind of wood escape is Danzo using his right arm to create a giant tree that instantly swallows himself and the enemy, and then uses Ai's energy to transform the damage he suffered into a dream to avoid this technique. Countless trees and vines occupied this passage, and countless tree roots extended into the distance. The seemingly fierce fight actually happened in an instant. It was so fast that Uchiha Fugaku didn't have time to join the battlefield. This is wood escape. This is the wood escape of the 1st generation of Hokage. Although I have heard that it has been studied, I didn't expect it to be really studied. Uchiha Fugaku was very surprised when he looked at the trees created by the wood escape in front of him. You know, wood escape is the specialty of the 1st generation of Hokage. The 1st generation of Hokage is also called the God of Ninja. He is invincible in the world with one hand holding up the Buddha. Therefore, wood escape has also left a deep impression in everyone's heart. The members of the Senju clan always want to replicate the glory of the God of Ninja. Unfortunately, in the end, no Senju clan member awakened the wood release talent. Danzo's figure appeared again. He glanced at the surprised Uchiha Fugaku and turned and ran. Time was constantly passing. Another eye closed. There was not much time left. 1 minute was not enough for Danzo to defeat Uchiha Fugaku. Now the 4th Hokage was entangled by wood release. If he didn't escape now, when would he escape? How could Uchiha Fugaku let Danzo escape? There were too many things he saw tonight. He had already taken action against Danzo, and he must not let him run away. Susanoo was in a semi-armored state. The skeleton Susanoo began to become complete. A half-body black armored warrior emerged, and Uchiha Fugaku glared. Blood dripped from the corner of his eye. The long sword in the black armored warrior's hand was thrown out in an instant. Then it pierced Danzo's heart, and the next moment Danzo appeared next to him again. He ran towards the wall on the side without looking back. It was a secret passage. Uchiha Fugaku wanted to chase after him, but when he passed by, it really turned into a wall. Chapter 47. Uncle Snake comes to play. Orochimaru watched Danzo run away, shook his head, and prepared to run away himself. The curse seal he left on Danzo had been erased by him using Izanami. However, Orochimaru had also collected enough experimental data and was ready to continue to complete his immortality technique. Just as Orochimaru was about to escape into the darkness, a hand was placed on his shoulder. "Why are you running away, Uncle Orochimaru? Come and play. The battle is not over yet. The show has just begun." Jiangnan had already discovered Orochimaru. The entire Anbu was shrouded in Jiangnan's divine thoughts, and any movement here could not escape Jiangnan's perception, including Orochimaru hiding in the darkness. From the time Orochimaru appeared to the present, Jiangnan had seen every move he made, including helping Danzo activate Izanami. But Jiangnan did not stop him. After all, what if he accidentally got too excited and killed someone? And the fourth Hokage also said that he only had to watch Danzo and not let him run away. Orochimaru, the fourth Hokage, didn't say it. As long as he didn't say it. Jiangnan smiled brightly. "I've wanted to meet you for a long time. After all, I've heard of your name since I was a child. Let me introduce myself. My name is Jiangnan, the helper of the fourth Hokage." Jiangnan said very politely, as if it was a chat between friends. Orochimaru looked at the hand on his shoulder, and then looked at the owner of the hand. "You know, few people dare to talk to me like this now." Orochimaru licked his lips with his long tongue. "Don't say that. Be more enthusiastic. How can you make friends if you are cold all day long, like a pervert?" Jiangnan was still very enthusiastic, which seemed to be to extremes compared to Orochimaru's coldness. "First of all, they have to have the qualifications to be friends. Otherwise I don't mind killing them." Jiangnan pretended to be very surprised and said, "You are too bad. If I become your friend, will you kill me? Who knows?" Orochimaru was very alert to this person who suddenly appeared. Because from beginning to end, he didn't find out how this person appeared behind him. If it was an enemy, it would be terrible. In the darkness, colorful snakes were crawling. These were Orochimaru's summoned beasts, and also his ninjutsu. Jiangnan patted his shoulder nonchalantly. It's okay. Becoming friends requires getting to know each other and a process. Although I know everything about you, you don't know me, and can't even see your own insignificance. Let's watch the show first. After watching the show, we can have a deeper discussion." Jiangnan let go of his hand. Orochimaru jumped away instantly and took a fighting posture with a pair of cold snake eyes. "Don't be so cold. I told you to watch the show." Jiangnan didn't care about Orochimaru's cold eyes and pointed down. "Can I refuse?" Orochimaru narrowed his eyes as if he was provoking someone. "I advise you not to do this. Sometimes it's more uncomfortable to be alive than to be dead," Jiangnan said with a smile. A small snake came to Jiangnan's feet at some point. It was a giant poisonous snake. Once bitten, the poison would spread throughout the body instantly. Jiangnan just raised his foot and stepped on it to death. "If you don't want to watch, then don't watch. Well, let the snake bite me. I'm a person who usually uses courtesy before force. Since you don't like watching the show, I will send you on a trip. This is the travel gift package I prepared for Danzo. Don't worry, you won't die. I will deprive you of death. This is what you have always dreamed of. I hope you can have fun." Jiangnan snapped his fingers lightly and sent Orochimaru away directly. Pluto is a dwarf planet in the Kuiper Belt. Pluto is the first Kuiper Belt object discovered, the first Pluto-like object, and the largest known dwarf planet in the solar system and the second largest in mass. Due to its distance from the sun, the temperature of the sun is difficult to reach here. Therefore, the temperature of Pluto is very low. According to a paper published by the University of Arizona, due to Pluto's distance from the sun, the equatorial temperature may drop to -240°C, causing nitrogen to freeze into nitrogen ice, just like water will freeze on Earth. If the Antarctic ice sheet increases several times, the same impact as Pluto will be observed on Earth. Without any protection, Orochimaru would only die on Pluto, a miserable death. But Jiangnan deprived him of death. Orochimaru could only endure the severe cold and live hard. This is what Jiangnan said. "Sometimes, living is more uncomfortable than dying. Uncomfortable eternal life is torture. Mingfei could only mourn for Orochimaru for a minute. It was his bad luck to offend the group leader. Group leader, is Orochimaru okay? Mingfei asked hesitantly. Jiangnan waved his hand and said, what are you thinking? I'm a good person. I know Orochimaru wants eternal life, so I took away his death, so that he will never die. I know Orochimaru likes to study science, so I sent him to Pluto to let him personally experience his own insignificance and the greatness of science under the starry sky. I'm such a good person. Mingfei. Jiangnan continued to speak. Do you know how human science has progressed? It is because we look up at the stars and understand our own insignificance, so we want to explore this starry sky. Curiosity is the driving force of progress. In the continuous exploration, scientists have seen the mysteries of the world. Now the science of the Naruto world has just sprouted, and Orochimaru can't see the road he wants to take. So I helped him come to the starry sky and let him witness this scientific road of exploration. Sure enough, on Pluto, which is more than 200 degrees below zero, he can calmly think about the road he wants to take. Mingfei made up his mind that he must not offend the group leader in the future. Saitama touched his bald head. Pluto seems to be quite far away from the Earth. Mingfei took out his mobile phone. I checked and it seems to be quite far. 3.225 billion kilometers. Jiangnan spoke. Mingfei, it's really a bit far. It's estimated that Orochimaru will never come back in his lifetime. It doesn't matter if he can't come back. He is a pervert anyway. Jiangnan waved his hand. What are you thinking? Orochimaru is a scientist. We should respect scientists, even if he is a pervert and doing illegal experiments. On the battlefield below, trees and vines intertwined to form a towering tree. The fourth Hokage was sealed inside. The next moment, Akune was stuck in the ground. Namikaze Minato appeared. There was red eyeshadow on his eyelids, and the pupils of his eyes were the same as those of a toad. Sage mode. The fourth Hokage activated the Sage mode and broke free from the control of wood release. Uchiha Fugaku looked at the fourth Hokage who appeared and said in a bad tone, Danzo ran away. Chapter 48. Uncle Snake is a good man. The fourth Hokage was not in a hurry at all. Don't worry, Fugaku, he can't run away. The eyeshadow disappeared. Minato Namikaze turned off the Sage mode. He was not really good at the Sage mode. On the other side, the 5 Sharingan on Danzo's arm had been completely shut down. The balance between the Sharingan and Hashirama's cells was also completely broken. Danzo felt a sharp pain in the secret passage, and his arm began to swell, and the cell rejection reaction appeared. The arm composed of Hashirama's cells fell off and turned into a pool of mud. Damn it, let Orochimaru cultivate a better arm for me later. This experimental product is really a waste. There is life, there is no fear of lack of firewood. This arm is just a temporary transplant. When a better one is developed, it can be replaced. Danzo didn't care at all. Light appeared in front of the secret passage. It looks like the end. As soon as he walked out of the secret passage, Danzo's face instantly became gloomy. Because there were 2 people standing at the exit of the secret passage. Uchiha Fugaku and Minato Namikaze. In order to prevent Danzo from escaping, Jiangnan immediately blocked all the space entrances of the entire route base. No matter how far Danzo runs, he will eventually return to the starting point. Namikaze Minato has been waiting here for a long time. Danzo, die. This time, Namikaze Minato will not make the same mistake as before. He will hit the target with one strike and then finish it off to ensure the death. At this time, one of Danzo's hands disappeared. Because he used forbidden techniques and many ninjutsu, a lot of chakra in his body was consumed. Danzo in this state can't beat to cage level strongman at all. Fourth Hokage, let me go. I have shed blood for Konoha. As long as you let me go, the route will be yours from now on, and I will stand by you. I can see that Hiruzen doesn't want to give up power. I will help you check and balance him. Danzo couldn't help but take 2 steps back when he spoke. Namikaze Minato's tone was extremely cold. No need. I can still kill you. If I kill you, the route will naturally be mine. The murderous intent in Uchiha Fugaku's eyes was extremely strong. Danzo, you must die today, for the dead Uchiha, for my people. This battle obviously has no room for reasoning. Damn it, don't force me. Danzo's eyes were full of madness. He still had the last trump card that he didn't use. But how could the two let him go? Namikaze Minato slowly raised the three-edged kunai. A black skeleton appeared on Uchiha Fugaku's body, obviously ready to take action. You force me to do this. Even if I die, I will drag you to die with me. Escape is useless. In front of Namikaze Minato, there is no way to escape. Maybe he had a premonition of his own death. Danzo's eyes were full of madness, and at this moment, all the anger suppressed in his heart was vented. I'm for the ninja world, for the peace of the ninja world. I'm the hero of Konoha, and the position of Hokage should have been mine. In the first battle, on the eve of the death of the second generation Hokage, because of Danzo's hesitation, he missed the position of Hokage. Danzo was really unwilling. Obviously, he was almost able to realize his ambitions and realize his ideals. 4-symbol seal. Danzo opened his clothes. The pattern of Bagua appeared on his body. This is the 4 symbols of Bagua. Then a large amount of black liquid spurted out of Danzo's body. Uchiha Fugaku sensed the danger and began to retreat rapidly. The 4-symbol seal began to expand outward. Namikaze Minato had been guarding against this move. Namikaze Minato quickly formed seals with both hands. This was another use of the Flying Thunder God technique that he perfected, which could transfer other things through coordinates. When the 4-symbol seal expanded to its maximum, Danzo disappeared in an instant. He was transferred to the sea by Flying Thunder God. In the end, Danzo's last move before death, the 4-symbol seal, sealed a lot of sea water. And Danzo himself was completely dead. The first generation of Pot King fell. It's over. Namikaze Minato's eyes were full of complexity. Uchiha Fugaku also walked over from a distance at this time. I didn't expect so many things to happen tonight. 4th generation. I think there should be nothing for me next. The next step is to deal with the roots. All the members of this root base were trapped in the illusion by Uchiha Fugaku. But they will be fine after a good sleep. But they saw the actions of the 4th Hokage tonight. When they learned that Danzo was dead, they might do something else. This requires the 4th Hokage to deal with it. Uchiha Fugaku left, and he needed some time to think about what happened tonight. After the battle, Jiangnan transferred Snake Uncle back. I believe that this trip to Pluto will leave a deep impression on Snake Uncle. It will also make him realize his insignificance and the mystery of the starry sky. Looking at Orochimaru, who was scarred and could die at any time, Jiangnan sighed and shook his head. Orochimaru's eyes no longer had the coldness they had before. Immortality is sometimes a torture. Jiangnan snapped his fingers lightly. In an instant, all the injuries on Orochimaru's body disappeared. Death also came back, and he could clearly feel the passing of his life. He who pursued immortality never felt that death was so precious at this time. How was it? Did you have a good time on this trip? Jiangnan said to Orochimaru with a smile. Orochimaru was silent for a long time before speaking. I was too stupid and too insignificant before, and I couldn't see the real world at all. The so-called immortality turned out to be so ridiculous, but I still won't give up my pursuit. This time I have a new goal. Orochimaru said his thoughts seriously. Jiangnan nodded. Not bad. You are a teachable kid. So what are you going to do next? I want to become a Hokage. I want to lead everyone to explore this starry sky and develop technology. I have seen true peace. Human beings themselves are too small and ignorant. They can only fight and consume each other. At this time, new people are needed to point out the direction. I want to explore the world outside the ninja world. It seems that this trip to Pluto has taught Orochimaru a lot. Jiangnan deliberately let Orochimaru see the scene of the solar system when he teleported. It seems to be effective. The training is very good. Mingfei was stunned when he saw this scene. What happened? Where is the unruly villain just now? If you want to compete for the position of Hokage, it may be difficult. Let's go. Go meet the current Hokage. I believe he can understand your ideals. The root ninja was lying on the ground, trapped in an illusion. Namikaze Minato stood in it, thinking about some problems. The next moment, Jiangnan appeared with Orochimaru. Jiangnan, it seems that everything is going well. Orochimaru smiled evilly. Minato, you are better than I thought. Namikaze Minato frowned. Orochimaru. Jiangnan said with a smile. Don't worry, Uncle Snake is a good man. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 49. Troubled Politics. Orochimaru's eyes were no longer as cold as before. It was like a scientist who pursued mystery and saw the truth of the world. It was a kind of enthusiasm. He saw his own path. Naive ideas will eventually disappear because of his maturity. 4th generation. If you don't know how to deal with the ninjas of the root, let me do it. I have been in the root for a very long time, and I know what is the most correct thing to do here. Orochimaru said slowly, obviously trying to show goodwill to the 4th generation Hokage. Namikaze Minato still didn't trust Orochimaru. Jiangnan gave a thumbs up. It's okay, 4th generation. After my adjustment, after my gentle persuasion, Orochimaru has deeply understood how wrong his original path was, and now he wants to be a good person. Although he didn't understand what happened, Jiangnan said so, and the 4th generation Hokage agreed. But he still asked, what are you going to do? The question was naturally Orochimaru. It's very simple, the seal of tongue slaying. The seal of tongue slaying is a sealing technique used by the root of Konoha Zanbu. Danzo puts a curse seal on the tongue of the root members. If the person who has cast the seal says anything about him, his whole body will be paralyzed, unable to speak or move. Danzo used this to restrain his subordinates, so that they could not tell secrets about themselves. Namikaze Minato nodded. As the second in command of the root, Orochimaru knows a lot of things, including the seal of tongue slaying. As a rigorous scientist, Orochimaru has a very deep research on various ninjutsu. As a sealing technique to control others, Orochimaru naturally also studied the seal of tongue slaying. In order to develop a curse seal that can revive himself, he studied many types of ninjutsu. Soon, under the supervision of Namikaze Minato, Orochimaru completed the seal of tongue slaying. All the root ninjas who witnessed this battle were controlled. 4th Hokage, what do you want to do next? If Danzo dies suddenly, my teacher will be angry. As the Hokage, he may put pressure on you. Don't forget that most of the power of the Anbu is in my teacher's hands now. Jiangnan thought about it. It was really a troublesome politics. How about? Jiangnan scratched his neck. The meaning of this gesture was very simple. Just kill him. Orochimaru's pupils shrank. Now he was still a disciple who respected his teacher. The teacher is indeed greedy for power, but I don't think it has reached that point. There is also the handling of the root. Even if you recruit all the roots, the power-hungry teacher will definitely stop it. Or let the ninjas of the root join the Anbu and be controlled by him. As one of the 3 ninjas, Orochimaru is naturally a high-level official in Konoha. He is still good at politics, otherwise he would not have established his own sound village when he defected. Since you said so, what do you think, Orochimaru? Namikaze Minato is not stupid. He can obviously feel that Orochimaru has his own ideas. Orochimaru smiled slightly and showed a wicked expression. It's easy to talk to smart people. The two of us can cooperate. You help me control the root and make me like Danzo before, and I will become your sharpest knife in the dark, just like Danzo and the 3rd generation. Orochimaru has never seen the future. This is the best way he can think of to deal with the root. In a strong village, there are always some people who want to do dark things. And his research has to continue, and the root can support his research. This is a win-win solution. Orochimaru believes that Namikaze Minato will agree. But Namikaze Minato shook his head. He has seen the future. There will be many strong people in the future. The existence of the root now has little meaning. And even if the group leader guarantees it, Namikaze Minato is still a little worried about Orochimaru. After all, he is still very clear about what Orochimaru is like. Namikaze Minato really can't do it. Jiangnan is wandering around the root at this time. Politics is the most troublesome thing. He doesn't care. Let Namikaze Minato and Orochimaru play and discuss it themselves. Orochimaru thought for a while and spoke. Then what do you want to do? The root cannot just ignore it, otherwise, my power-hungry teacher will definitely take over the root, and we must react quickly. I suspect that the teacher may have discovered something is wrong. Danzo is a good friend of Sarutobi Hiruzen. One is bright and the other is dark. The fourth Hokage is not dead yet. The cowardly things that the third Hokage did have not happened yet. The third Hokage was indeed a very good Hokage. And Sarutobi Hiruzen will definitely find out about Danzo's death. It's just a matter of time. Orochimaru's current identity is actually quite sensitive. He is the disciple of the third Hokage, the best disciple. The third Hokage has invested too much effort in him and has too many expectations. He even handed him over to his best friend Danzo. When Orochimaru defected, the third Hokage could have caught him, but he let him go because he was soft-hearted. You have to know that at that time, Danzo pushed all the bad things he did onto Orochimaru's head. Just those bad things are enough for Orochimaru to be shot 100 times. It is also for this reason that, if Orochimaru becomes the leader of the route, the third Hokage will not only not oppose it, but will support it. Because this is his disciple, he who is greedy for power will definitely think that Orochimaru will stand on his side. Danzo is his good friend, he can trust him. Orochimaru is his most outstanding disciple, he can also trust him. This is politics. Mutual game. Namikaze Minato thought a lot. He already has the Uchiha clan in his hands. After controlling the route, the power-hungry third Hokage will definitely do something, and will even join forces with the Konoha high-level officials to put pressure on him. You know, the Konoha high-level officials are all friends of Sarutobi Hiruzen at the same time. If they put pressure together, even the fourth Hokage will not be able to ignore their opinions. Soon Namikaze Minato made a decision. Orochimaru, Danzo's affairs must be covered up. Later, I will help you become the new leader of the route, but you can no longer do the things you did before. Those things will be buried with Danzo's death. Human experiments, Hashirama cells, Sharingan research, you should understand what I mean. Orochimaru nodded. He saw a new path. Now he felt how stupid it was to study Hashirama cells and reproduce the glory of the god of ninja. He didn't know how to look forward to the future, and explore the unknown. It's too stupid to lock yourself in the glory of the past, and can't walk out, and only study things that existed in the past. Even if he didn't see the future, Orochimaru could predict that there must be a force more powerful than the god of ninja in this world. That is the unknown. That is a fascinating mystery. Chapter 50. The game begins. Danzo is dead. Somehow, this matter reached the ears of the retired third Hokage. In the 48th year of Konoha, the third Hokage was already over 50 years old. He had experienced the first, second, and third world wars without dying. 50 years old is considered to be relatively old in the ninja world. After learning that his old friend Danzo had died, the third Hokage felt very uncomfortable. Danzo was also his childhood sweetheart. They were both disciples of the second Hokage. They had cooperated with each other in various battles. Even if he became Hokage, he was willing to separate a special route from the dark side and let Danzo master it. He didn't even ask what Danzo did, and he would turn a blind eye to all the bad things he did. But such a good friend died. But compared to the death of his friend, the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen was more worried about who would control the route. After experiencing the taste of power, it would be a bit too difficult to let go. The third Hokage retired because there were better people among the younger generation. Konoha White Fang, Golden Flash, Salmon, and the most popular Namikaze Minato was his own grandson. He is old. Konoha needs fresh blood to be injected and renewed so as to ensure the prosperity of Konoha. Facts have proved that Sarutobi Hiruzen is indeed old. After the death of the fourth Hokage, he became the Hokage again, and then he did more and more cowardly things. Kumogakure kidnapped the princess of the Hyuga clan, but ended up pushing the younger brother of the head of the clan to die. He kept suppressing the Uchiha clan, forcing them to rebel, and ended up killing all the people in the clan, and created the second pillar of the Avengers. You must know that Konoha village was founded by the Uchiha clan and the Senju clan. Until now, both clans have lost their personnel. Instead, other clans are constantly growing, like vampires sucking the nutrients of these two big trees. You must know that before Konoha was established, it was the Warring States period. In that era, the Uchiha clan and the Senju clan were the most powerful clans. Although they often fought to the death, they still overwhelmed other clans. Finally, in the 60th year of Konoha, when the story just started, the third Hokage died in the Konoha collapse plan. At this time, the third Hokage was already nearly 70 years old. 70 years old. You know, the current society stipulates that people retire at the age of 60. 70 years old is really old, and some people at this age are already sick and lying in bed. In the Konoha collapse plan, the third Hokage still has the strength of a Kage at the age of 70 and fights against Orochimaru. He sealed the first and second generation Hokage and sealed Orochimaru's hands and directly disabled Orochimaru. Root base. Sarutobi Hiruzen led to Anbu, who followed him here. But there were already other people here. Orochimaru, Namikaze, Minato, Uchiha Fugaku, and some Konoha high-level officials. Sarutobi Hiruzen, what's going on? What happened? Mitokado En's face was not very good. Danzo seems to have disappeared, and there are many bad things left here. Then, Mitokado En looked at Uchiha Fugaku on the side. Obviously this is not good, and it has something to do with the Uchiha clan. Fugaku, why are you here? The affairs of the root don't seem to be under the jurisdiction of the Guard Corps. Uchiha Fugaku's face was very cold. The Guard Corps is responsible for the safety of Konoha. A fierce battle took place here, and the location is within the scope of Konoha. I think our Guard Corps should be qualified to check it out. Former Hokage. The former Uchiha Fugaku's words were very strong, and it was obvious that there was something else in his words. The third Hokage has retired. Theoretically, the Uchiha clan does not need to report to him when doing things. And now the fourth Hokage, the current Hokage, has also come here. Then there is no need to pay attention to the former third Hokage. Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed. During his reign, he had suppressed the Uchiha clan crazily, so the Uchiha clan would naturally not give him a good face. What happened to Minato? The third Hokage could only ask the most handsome man in the crowd. He never dreamed that it was his good disciple who killed his good friend Danzo. Namikaze Minato shook his head helplessly and started to act. Third generation, take a look for yourself. I just know the situation of the root now. That expression seemed to be really ignorant. Orochimaru was cold, and there was no expression on his face. Several Konoha high-level people entered the root. That was the laboratory of the root. Blood, eyes, Hashirama cells, the constantly squirming culture, and some human limbs. Everyone present is not a fool, and they all know what this means. This is the bottom line that Konoha cannot touch. Looking at the Sharingan and those culture tanks, Uchiha Fugaku's face became unusually dark. All the experiments here were done by the leader of the root, Danzo, and these materials are evidence. All the materials here have the participation of Danzo. Even if the root ninja can do things without the permission of the Hokage, what Danzo has done now has violated the laws of Konoha, and he has even pointed the butcher knife at his companions. Third generation Hokage, do you know about this? The fourth generation Hokage looked at the third generation Hokage with doubt in his eyes. The other high-level people were the same. Although they heard that the root was studying Hashirama cells, they didn't expect that they would conduct human experiments and even point the butcher knife at their companions. This kind of thing is absolutely unforgivable, and it was caught by the fourth Hokage. At this time, can the third Hokage admit that he deliberately pretended not to know? I'm sorry, Minato, I didn't know about this matter. I didn't expect Danzo to do such a cruel thing. I will give you an explanation for this matter. As for Danzo, you should sell your friends. Namikaze Minato nodded and gave the third Hokage enough face. Danzo seems to have disappeared. I suspect he may have died. There are traces of fighting with others at the root base. Judging from the traces at the scene, it is Wind Escape, which should be Danzo's Wind Escape, and there is also Wood Escape. Everyone was shocked when Wood Escape was mentioned, but no one said much. Namikaze Minato continued. The man who fought against Danzo was at least stronger than Danzo. He knocked down all the root ninjas in an instant, and then fought against Danzo, forcing Danzo to use Wood Release. Looking at Hashirama cells in the laboratory, Namikaze Minato paused again, as if to give everyone time to think. According to the root ninjas, they fainted without seeing anything clearly, and when they woke up, the battle was over. They searched for a long time, but couldn't find the missing Danzo, so they notified me. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like, Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.